That's not what a discussion is about. You understand?
And
So,
I don't intend for you to talk over me.
all right,
We gotta have turns to
it
talk.
can't. Right. So it kind of felt that way. So I'm just like, dude, I'm not gonna argue with you because I love you too much. We not doing that.
Yeah.
Period. You understand? So I'd rather hang up on you and talk to you tomorrow than argue with you tonight. It's stupid.
Yeah. I got you.
I'm too grown. I'm too grown for that shit. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when I
And
tell you, it's
me too,
like
brother.
we could
Me
disagree.
too.
We could agree to
I'm a
disagree,
grown
but we
ass
don't need
man
to be like,
too.
right? So
Yeah.
let's not do that, please. That's all I'm
Okay,
asking.
channel. Okay, channel. I got you.
You know what I mean? How's everybody doing here over here tonight, man?
Blessings, everybody.
Everybody's
This
doing
is
all right.
Knowledge Uprising. I'm Lindsay. Welcome to Friday Night Live #2 open panel. Everybody, shout out everybody. Y'all go ahead and talk to the audience. Who want to start off? It don't matter. Yeah, it's amazing. I got my brother Joe on here for the first time. I got my brother Jalahi on the first time. I got my boy Channel on here for the first time. And I got my boy Huey back on here. And I got Dre on here. And I got my boy Steven coming back. And I got Ryan on here, man. How y'all doing tonight?
What's
Yeah,
up?
all right. Hey, what's happening, y'all?
What it do,
What's up?
brothers?
Peace and love from Cali, man.
No doubt.
FK, what's up to the family? BK, what it do? Beloved, Brooklyn.
Huey P, what up, brother?
What's
Yes,
up?
sir. What's good, Huey
UEP,
P?
Yo,
Ken,
what's up, y'all?
HOTC.
Much love, y'all. Much love, much love.
Yeah.
What's up,
For,
man?
First and foremost, happy Thanksgiving to everybody that's up in here. I hope everybody got time to spend time with themselves, their families, X, Y, and Z. And I hope you made it worth it for this Thanksgiving weekend. Let's make that first and foremost. Self and family is actually what's most important.
I agree.
Sounds good.
Much love to everybody who celebrate that, but I don't indulge in those pagan holidays and things. But to each his own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what you said? You ain't eat, nigga?
Shit,
Hey, I'm eating. I
So,
just don't get down with the holidays either,
You don't
so
I
need
I
to
just
feel
eat.
you
didn't
on
get
that.
with.
That's
Well, see, I
respect to
feel
the
them on that
indigenous.
because
Happy Indigenous Day.
people, yeah,
I
people look at me.
Celebrate.
my family.
I celebrate all pagan holidays just because I get paid for those days as well. So I get paid for the. So I said to myself one day, I said, what difference does it make if I get paid for the pagan holidays? I might as well participate. So I don't celebrate. I participate.
All right. Well, here's what I have to say about that. Whether you celebrate or not, peace of mind and time with family and the people that are closest to you should be celebrated regardless of what day it is. So I hope
That is
people
true every
actually
day.
Yeah,
Facts.
spend this way and this weekend gratefully.
Facts. And
Period.
I think like period, bro. Like African people, black people, we got to get out of that narrative of just, that victimhood narrative of saying like, let's not celebrate it because this is the day that they stole the land. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck all
yeah,
that, bro.
and,
It's
and,
good
and, and
food.
see, and say a reason could be wrong. That's how I look at that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't think
Yeah.
no pilgrims and Indians really sat down and had some Thanksgiving, some old polite ass dinner where they just was sharing shit. I don't believe that shit ever
Well,
happened.
I
Right.
can't say nothing about that. I only say that with
I
respect.
can. I don't believe it happened.
No,
I
well,
I
okay.
I don't research it. I looked it up.
All right.
I looked at my findings. It no.
Okay. Here's my perspective as someone who was born and raised in Trinidad and Tobago that does not
Yeah.
understand exactly what Thanksgiving is. It's kind of like in my perspective where you don't necessarily believe in the religion that someone else believes in, but you still respect it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So, as far as what the core is, it is still a core teaching. So, you may not believe in the Bible, but you do believe in treat somebody with love as you would love to be loved.
Yeah.
It's the same thing
Sure.
for me. So, that's how I treat all holidays because I treat my weekends the same way. Dude, if you come through my house, I'm gonna be cooking for you. I'm gonna make sure you are alright. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So
Facts.
that's how I kind of look at it. So any excuse where I can look to take care of the people around me and the people that I love, I'm gonna take it. and I'm gonna be
So
thankful for it.
so let me ask you this, Channel. Do they still call it Thanksgiving in Trinidad, or is it like
Trinidad
you
does
got
Trinidad does not have a Thanksgiving.
okay.
Yeah,
Right, it's
we don't
just the
have a
day to
Thanksgiving.
eat. You feel me?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
more of a United States thing, but I know some places. I think in Canada you do something a little different that's similar, but yeah, that was mostly a United States
United States
holiday.
and Mexico.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember if Mexico had a Thanksgiving or not, but I guess
Mexico
if you
does.
know, then it is. Okay.
Mexico
My
does.
thing is to the brother who said that he think that African Americans and blacks, whatever, okay, should stop claiming the victim. I don't think that is being a victim, but I don't think that it's fucking smart to be celebrating those shit that they took from us. And we not African Americans or none of that other shit. That's what we need to so-called blacks need to get that shit out their head too, because you not fucking black either.
Well, if you want to look,
Mm.
Facts.
if you are actually gonna use, if you actually gonna use that as a narrative, you can't say they took anything away from you because you're not a Native American Indian.
Yes, I am I'm not an
You don't
Indian.
know that.
Hold on. Let me respond to that. Let me respond. Because
Okay.
we're not fucking Indians. They thought that they was going to India and ended up in America. So we just Native Americans, and that they called Indians. And we are native to this land
Mm.
because all of our lineage is right here in America, bro. So don't tell me
Talk
I
that
ain't
shit.
Yes,
none of
sir.
my
Wait.
none of
Hold up, hold up.
none of my people. Hold on.
Wait.
Let me finish. None of my people was buried in no African soil. All of my people lineage, all the way down, fucking 400 years past plus, buried in this soil. So when you talking about indigenous to this land, you explain the definition of indigenous to this land, and then you would try to say that they would try to put us in Africa. Africans don't even call themselves Africans. They call themselves the tribe that they from. So don't try to tie no African American to no black motherfuckers or no so-called blacks. We're not black. We're not African American. That's a fucking status that's holding us and belittling us to hold us down and fucking keeping us confused and knowing who the fuck we are. And that's what most of us need to start realizing. To stop attaching black and African American to our shit and stop celebrating these forced ass fucking holidays every year that they fucking force on us. That's what they need
Word.
to
And
Th-
yeah, and on
Thank you.
some real shit.
Thank you. You
The
actually
African part
solidified
ain't
where I
even a
wanted to go.
status. That it's hella countries in Africa. Africa is the continent. You know what I'm saying? So as far as what people call us, black people in America, African Americans, it's like, yo, okay, if shit hit the fan, you got all these Irish people. Technically, they can go back to Ireland. All these German people, they can go back to Germany. Italians can go back to Italy. Where the hell you gonna take your black ass in Africa? That's a whole continent. You
Damn.
still got to pick a country. So
My point exactly.
that whole
Yeah.
Yeah.
African American thing is a mind fuck in order to separate us from the land that is ours, rightfully so in the first place. So as far as the holiday of Thanksgiving is concerned, I don't fuck with the holiday on the title level. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have some good food with my family and my peoples, but I'm gonna separate that shit from that title called Thanksgiving. Whether it's something that's legit or not, we gonna share that and do that every day regardless. We just gonna do it a little extra bigger on that holiday. But I don't claim Thanksgiving. I don't claim
Exactly.
Christmas. None of that bullshit.
Exactly.
Damn
And
right.
that's what
Damn
So
right.
before I jump off, thank you for solidifying. Young brother with the hoodie. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Huey P.
That's you. Yeah.
Huey P. All right. No, I don't want to insult you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you,
You
because you
good,
actually
man?
halfway solidified what I wanted to bring up. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But then on top of that too, like as far as holidays is concerned, I mean everybody needs to actually like take a step back and listen to Joe Budden Happy Holidays, and you actually understand how I feel. I don't care about holidays. I don't care about Christmas. I don't care about New Year's. I don't even care about my own goddamn birthday. You understand me? I only care about who's there with me on a day-to-day basis, who's there to help me, who's there to talk to me. All right, what's a Thanksgiving and a birthday versus someone who's there to prevent someone from committing suicide? which is the biggest problem that we actually have in this planet, if not the United States of America, and as far as a people. You know what I'm saying? And that really should be the focus rather than African comedic Jesus versus Buddha versus all this other fucking shit. How are we gonna mend each other as a people? Period. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that I actually tell very closely to my friends all over, right? All of my friends. If people actually banded together and actually looked out for each other, we would have no need to pay $2,000 to a psychiatrist or psychologists and all this other fucking shit. Niggas don't fucking care anymore. Maybe we need to start caring about that. Care about the man that's next to each other. Care about the children that's actually being brought up rather than fucking Cardi B, little bitch, you can't fuck with me if you wanted to. Like, maybe if we, like DMX said, even though he's still a crackhead, but, you know, long live DMX, but he said the right thing. And he's probably one of the last artists to say the right thing. It takes a village to raise a child. You tell me who in your neighborhood actually understands that upbringing.
Well,
Maybe
see that?
we need to.
Maybe oh, my bad, guy, brother.
No, that's good. Like I'm glad that you agree because I was feeling like an asshole.
Yeah, no. I mean, I definitely agree, but the problem is that all that starts on individual level. People have to exactly. Elevate their personal consciousness in the first place in order for that to take place, and then people need to start shedding all these labels, whether it's political label, a religious label, whatever the case may be. And when that consciousness elevates, then people can actually begin to function as one, as like a hive mind. We can't do that right now because everybody's all pushed off into these little side camps and this clique and that clique, and everybody is at each other. It don't work like that.
All right. So
hold on, real quick. Let me
kick this off. So wait. So let me kick this off because I have to get off here. So let me kick this off because what brother said was actually very good. So let me kick this off by saying, I don't know a lot of you people on here, but I got love for each and every one of you, but actually taking the time out of your day and your night to actually sit down here and speak consciously, speak to each other with love, forgiveness, and understanding to actually step into a forum like this, to actually hopefully we'll be able to move forward. And if we actually walk into forums like this, then we may be able to change the world. Am I wrong in saying this?
No, I agree with that.
I can't argue with that either.
I agree with you, but it just like bro, like Dre, is that Dre Midas? What up, family?
Yes, sir. What up, bro?
What it do? Peace to the God. Like bro was just saying, man, it just starts within you, bro, because you are the center of your attention. Like everything you saying, bro, with like I do this shit every day. Like, bro, I got a big family. I got 6 kids, 5 boys, me and my wife. So I eat like this every day. It's nothing to me. Every day I wake up, I rejoice to see everybody happy and healthy, everybody who around. You feel what I'm saying? So every day we supposed to be happy, bro. Don't let these motherfuckers force no holiday and make no day where we supposed to be motherfuckers shedding life or shedding giving a gift or doing something for some fucking body. You're supposed to do this every day. Whether it's your loved ones or not, try to help somebody out. If it ain't nothing but opening the door for somebody and just being courteous, you know what I'm saying? If you love yourself from the inside out, man, that shit gonna reflect on you on the outside, man. Anything that's happening on you that's negative or dis-ease or anything of that nature, it's all within you. This is the dis-ease within yourself. And until you get this shit out of your mind, then the disease of around you won't fucking gonna keep being around. Like me, like for instance, the disease within me is this systematic program that we recognize that we being in and giving that shit energy to let it know that it's doing certain things. But when you take your mindset out of saying, fuck the system, they are nothing, they're obsolete, and none of that shit has no weight and no bearing on nothing that you're doing in your everyday life. So you know what I'm saying? Just own up for your shit, man, and let your ripple effect start with you.
Amen.
And let me say this. because I agree with both of you guys, and Huey, you made a great point, bro. Or I think that was Dre that said, we stick to these labels. And I'm from Chicago, bro, and I've been raised in Chicago, around all the gang culture and things like that. And I was talking to one of my guys because I was telling them, like, I don't think, you know, you as a guy or just black people period, we can change being around so much negativity in these inner cities. You can't change your philosophy. You can't change it ain't motivating you to go to the gym. It ain't motivating you to want to go, read a fucking book. Like my homie, he was saying, bro, I got 3 daughters. What the fuck I look like reading a book, you know what I'm saying, when I gotta try to figure out how they gonna get fed. And I'm like, damn, bro, that's so fucked up because I don't have any kids. You feel me? So I'm like, I mean, I understand. I never know the struggles of a father or a parent. So, I mean, I can't disagree or agree with that. But it's just like you see how we label ourselves like, well, I'm this, so I can't step outside of that
Stuck in that
until,
box.
you feel me?
Got to look
So,
beyond them boxes, shed them labels, stop committing yourself to a specific camp. Like I said, whether it's religious or political, whatever the case may be, people find comfort within these little boxes or whatever, and they don't know how to venture beyond it. And that stagnates the growth of the mind. Spiritually, it stagnates the elevation of consciousness and all that. But you know what? On some real though, as Americans, we sit in a position where we actually have more power to change things than anybody in this world, and we squander it. We literally have the world at our fingertips as far as access. We walk around with computers in our pockets, and then we turn around, like for instance with the holidays, we got Thanksgiving. Everybody be on social media talking about what they thankful for, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. But then you turn around and people go to the stores and act like savages over some material goods on Black Friday and don't even know what that's about.
That's actually the most disturbing thing that I've ever
seen. But that's just a major indication of the overall consciousness of this country specifically, but the world in general, and that is mad disturbing. People need to get up out that shit and elevate their minds.
You took the words right out of my mouth, and I'm actually say this. What me and my girlfriend did this morning, which I think is probably going to be like a new tradition. Every Black Friday, now we just actually go to the beach and watch the sunrise. That's our Black Friday. Not shopping. Just go watch the sunrise. That's it. Group of motherfuckers just go and watch the sunrise. What's up. Right?
Now, have you guys seen like videos though about Black Friday? Like how stupid they get though? Like
it's like looting. It's like looting and training.
Sir, I live in South Florida. It gets mad stupid over here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
But it gets stupid everywhere, Cam. Like we ain't gonna lie about that shit.
Yeah, but I mainly jump back on here to actually wish you guys a good night. You know what I mean? Because I'm about to pass out because I've been up since 5 a.m.
Oh, yeah,
I'm tired as hell, but at the same time, shout out to Lindsay for actually bringing me on here. You know what I mean? Dude, love you dogs. You know what I mean? But me and go talk about some other stuff tomorrow. All you guys, unfortunately, I have not been able to meet all of you.
I think you know who I am.
That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen, eventually. But as far as this holiday season, be safe. Please take care of your family, take care of your friends, and the people that are actually around you the most. Please take care, because that actually matters the most. You know what I mean? I don't know you guys, but love you guys. Please have a great, blessed night.
Hey, great raisins and great settings, brother.
Yeah, you have a good one.
Peace.
Yeah, it's crazy though when you see these videos of these people acting all crazy like this, trying to get a TV because it's like $200 or $300. You know what I mean? And then it's like they need to take that energy and put it into something good, like learning how to grow some food. Like, you know what I mean? When the food run out, how people gonna act then? And you see what they doing in these stores, snatching stuff from each other, acting like savages over electronic goods. What they gonna do when it comes down to something like, oh, I need this water in order to survive, or I need this loaf of bread in order to eat for the next day. it's gonna get ugly, yo.
Like
the sad thing is that they're selling the product at the price that it's supposed to be. It's crazy, man.
But what they don't realize is they mark it up 500, 600, 1,000% before they even put it on sale. So in actuality, you might be paying $200 for a 55-inch television, which only literally costs $50, and you still paying an arm, a leg, a tooth, and knuckle for it, and don't even realize it because it's all overpriced to begin with.
Right. I think a couple of things is going on though. Number one, I think that when people, and I don't know everybody. First of all, I tell people, I say, don't buy me anything for my birthday, Christmas, whatever. It doesn't matter. I could care less. I'm gonna be happy one way or the other. So I really don't need a whole lot of material things at all. In regards to the people shopping, I think that because people it could be because people don't have anything or something, or maybe they don't have money, so they're used to trying to get a deal. There's nothing that's that important to me where I'd have to stand in line for like hours, and I don't understand that. Where people like 2 or 3 days, people have been standing in front of Best Buy, lined up, like you say, just to get a computer or a TV or whatever, and that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
It's a sickness. It's literally an illness. That's what consumerism is based on. Consumerism thrives on the fact that people have these chemical disorders within themselves that they feel like they need these products. It's a sickness.
And that's the way they get marketed to. Yeah, it is a brainwashing technique, and that goes into years of research. I can't remember the guy's name offhand, but it's like down to a science where they market it that way. I was watching something even today when, and this was like, not to go completely off subject, but they were talking about like Facebook, for example, and the reason why they have the like buttons versus and they don't have dislike buttons, because people love getting likes. You know what I mean? And it does that same, they have that euphoria, that same adrenaline thing going, oh my gosh, I got, people on Instagram, I got so many likes, I got so many hearts, I got so many. And so they just love to just get stuff. And there's a reason why they never put a dislike button on there. You know what I mean?
Funny thing is, brothers, have y'all ever seen something important on sale for Black Friday?
Bro, breaking up like crazy. You sound funny as hell.
Yeah, go ahead and say what you just said again. You're just vibrating a little bit. That's all.
He might have to drop out and come back in.
Y'all can hear me now?
No, you're still pretty jumbled up.
Let me drop off real quick.
Yeah, you robotic or something.
Yo, but you know what else ill about that shit though, bro? That followers though, they got followers. Just think how many people want to be followers, bro, or just have followers. Like, bro, I be thinking about that shit. Like, man, I don't want no followers, bro. Do not follow me. Not follow me, man. Whatever y'all do, y'all can fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? But don't follow me, literally, bro. Like, hear what I'm saying? If y'all even agree with something I say, take that shit up. Don't be fucking following Huey. You feel me? Like, no, don't do it. But you gotta realize, bro, in this fucking mind state, it's a lot of sleep people, bro, and that want to be awoke because the energy is out here, because the awakening is just here, bro. The conscious awakening. So they looking for guidance, and everybody is not chiefs and Indians. Everybody is not performers. This is like another a realm of performing. Like me, I'm an artist, a natural artist. So it's nothing for me to even talk to people or get in front of a crowd of people and just do whatever. Right. You feel me? Like it's natural.
You know what? Take it back off what you're saying real quick. The reason why everybody sometimes, if you think people aren't getting along, it's not that it is. I think everybody on the panel is creative in one way or another. So when you have a bunch of artists, chaos sometimes happens. You know what I mean? Like, because everybody, it's just like a band that's trying to get together, the 5 heartbeats or whatever, and not everybody can get along, because everybody is used to being.
The people on the panels, like even most of us, we be on panels all around. You feel me? It's not we just be in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So I know like pretty much everybody who be on panels, anybody who got a channel, anything of that got a creative nature of some type of sort. Right. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's just what it is. Other people like who they probably got a lot to say, but they sit in the back on the chat and they don't think that they have a voice. Literally. You feel me?
Sure.
Like, just don't think like they were like they really think like shit, bro. I can't get up there and talk with Pro Sanchez or whoever. You feel what I'm saying? Because they might sound dumb, or you might just say something that just people might not agree with, and you might not. People are just so fucking man. Oh
No, yeah, you gotta say what's on your mind. I don't think anybody judge people like that. At least I hope not.
Say that again.
I said you should be able to say what's on your mind. I hope people don't judge people by what they say. You know, it's better to ask something than not say anything.
Nothing at all. That's what I tell people. I say, bro, if I ask you a question, it's not a right or wrong answer. Just answer me. You feel me? Don't just sit there like I just didn't ask you nothing and you just sitting there like dumbfounded. Fucking just answer me. You know what I mean? Like, oh, give me something right. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking don't matter. Like,
Right.
shit.
Now let's rewind that shit back real quick though, like what Hugh was saying about just a little bit ago about followers and stuff.
Right.
And like right before we started this live panel, folks, you know, like we were talking about different platforms. I don't know who was all paying attention. I know Knowledge was talking about it with Channel via phone. You know, like you got all these followers. It doesn't matter like what platform you stand on. You could be here like what we are now, or you could be on like say Facebook or YouTube or even like Instagram. You get all these crazy followers and just like don't follow me. Like you fuck with me, yeah, but don't be like stalking me to the core. Feeling what I'm saying?
The crazy shit is that, you know, everybody been taught since they was a kid, be a leader, not a follower. You know what I'm saying? And then you turn around and you got like 30,000 motherfuckers following you and shit. Like, where's the leaders at? Like, if this so-called leader falls off, who's going to step into that person's place, you know, and pick up that baton and run with it? You ain't going to do that with 30,000 followers.
Exactly.
Where's the leaders at?
Exactly. And see, that's the thing. It's like, see, Dre's got a good point because we need, you know, people to lead. Where's the leaders? We don't see that shit no more, hardly ever.
The leaders is the followers, bro. Everybody is a big. They kill all the leaders, so motherfuckers are scared.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head, brother. People are scared to get out in the forefront because they either worried about their ego being bruised or they feel like some kind of harm is going to come to them. But if they really understood what was going on and the manipulation that we're placed under, you know what? I'm at a point right now in my life where even if for some reason somebody chose to take me out because they think that my mind is dangerous on some level, I don't care. You ain't doing nothing but liberating me. I'm gonna come back stronger. My energy ain't going nowhere. It's gonna come back and bite them in the ass.
Do you be feeling like that? Like somebody gonna take you out because your mind is strong?
Yeah, I'm just if somebody decide to do that, I'm not afraid of that. I'm not afraid to be out in the public like that.
Nobody take you out but you, bro. You gonna give a thought power to fucking do it. And once you know that you can control any of that shit, when you be faced with those adversities, man, shit.
Like, you know, it shouldn't matter though, folks. Like, what color skin you may be.
Like, I'm not fucking going nowhere. Ain't nothing motherfucker nothing with me, no way. And if I, just like you said, bro, if I do, I'm gonna be more dangerous than y'all leaving me here now. Y'all better go back down, back up in this, whatever the. Man, I try to get away from words, bro. This is one thing that we have to get away to. This is a fucking very super powerful source that we have to get away to and start operating frequencies more, because it's all about the fucking frequency that we in. And once we in frequency, you have your own harmonic tone that's only meant for your likings. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You got your own fucking frequencies that just vibrate the fucking realms of the world for you. Period, man. It's your world, this whole jail. It's a jail that you walking up in. And I'm not fucking talking about a prison jail, but if you're talking about like a jail, I'm talking about a jelly jail. Like a ram of like plasma, like the fucking same shit that you was in when you would think that you was in your womb of your mama. You feel me? This is all that's around us. And
you got it. Yeah, like you got a bad point, man.
It's funny. You're talking about frequency. I heard something one time, and I kind of liked it. Someone said, I don't have a high IQ, I have a high EQ.
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Hey, Huey, I agree with you about, this being our own universe. Like, do y'all think everything in a universe is tailored towards you? Like, when you are born, everything that you go through is like specifically meant for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, even the people you meet, where you live, all that shit.
Yes.
I believe so. Yes.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, if you think about it, technically, you are the center of the universe.
Facts.
You are as an individual.
I say that in a couple new rhymes. Like, you are the true north. Like, everybody talk about getting to the north and with the magnets or what the true north is. It is you are the true center of north. Period. You are the center of the universe, man. Everything gravitates to you. This is what gravity is. You are gravity. The gravitational things that you attract to yourself. This is what gravity, and the whole world is attracted to you. That's why I'm telling you, man.
Like a magnet.
But it's through the frequencies that you put out. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people realize that. It's that boomerang effect. What you put out is going to come back to you. You create your reality.
Yes, bro. You're so fucking right, bro. And that's why frequencies that's coming to you is important, especially when you select the frequencies that you're letting come into you, because you got to know that the ones that come into you got to come out to you. So when you're sitting around putting television programming and anything, any type of frequencies, music, all of this shit, man, you got to be more selective about the things that's coming into you. You feel what I'm saying? Because they created it within a spell. Because they put all of our language together with our languages, different harmonic tones to make words. You feel what I'm saying? So each letter, a word or a body within itself, a whole frequency within itself. You feel what I'm saying? So when you start adding all these letters and words and all of this shit, it's just so much frequency just bouncing around. You feel what I'm saying?
It's like noise pollution. You got to be able to filter that out.
Yes, brother.
And that's why these people that run the show right now, these powers that shouldn't be, that's why they go so hard to bombard you with all these ultra low frequencies and all this other electrical magnetic frequencies and shit that don't belong to you. You know, they go hard than a motherfucker, bombard you with that type of shit because they want to fuck up your natural resonance with the frequencies of the universe that you should be connected to in the first place. You know, they go hard at that.
Super hard, boy, and they've been going at us. And you notice they get us when we at the young age, because that's the most influential part of your life is the beginning stages. You feel me? When you most of a sponge and you just taking in so much data and information from just everywhere you see that.
Before the age 7, of course.
Yes.
Well, nowadays they going at you in utero, though. They going at you before you even develop. You know, they going at you through the nutrition of your vessel, the mother. They're attacking the mother with the prenatal vitamins. They're attacking the mother with the foods and the beverages she drinks. You know, all that stuff. So before you even are fully developed, they already attacking you. And then as soon as you come out the womb, they pumping you up with vaccines.
Yes.
And so it's never ending.
Your soul, so you can't be fucking. It makes your body, your equilibrium off, and it makes you back into this world, and all of the artificial frequencies is able to tap in. You start tapping into that shit, like.
You know what? I think a lot of these kids, when you see these kids now and they say that, they have ADD or ADHD or whatever, I think those are the kids that just aren't buying the bullshit. That's why they're not focused on it.
Now, you know what? I mean, on some real, though, this ADHD and all this stuff, they are real illnesses, and they stem from the chemicals in the water. They stem from
Right.
they stem from all the electromagnetic frequencies that the kids are bombarded with. Like I'm 45. When I was a kid, I didn't have a router in my house. I didn't have cell phones in my house. I didn't have solar panels. All these things that put out these frequencies that fuck with these kids. Then you got all the processed foods, all the shit that's no good, and they living on that is chemicals. It's junk. It's no good for them. So as far as like the ADHD and all that shit is concerned, it's chemical related to begin with, and then on top of that, it's exacerbated from all the electromagnetic frequencies that the kids are constantly bombarded with. So these really are real illnesses that exist. If you think back 30 and 40 years ago, none of this shit existed. You know what I'm saying? And then they attack them even further with the vaccines. You get the first dose as soon as you're born, and then after that they schedule you up till you 6 years old. But yet in the United States, the average age that a child is diagnosed with cancer is at 6 years of age, right as the vaccine program ends. That shit is all by design because they want to take the kids out, because the kids that are being born nowadays, they should actually be more in tune with the frequencies of the universe, and these people understand that, so they go extra hard to fuck them up and turn them into invalids before they even become adults.
Yep.
Right, but do you think that like some of those kids in the school that it's hard for them to focus on? I know some kids focus on things, and it's funny because I work at an elementary school, and it's more in the hood, so you catch a lot of bad kids, But I wouldn't say they're bad. Some of them have broken homes. A lot of them are foster kids and whatever. And then if I go to a different school, I can actually see the difference, between the kids that go there.
Okay, let me ask you this real quick: is there a difference in the environment? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Do these kids have access to different types of nutrition? Are they around cell towers and things like that?
It's the same exact food. All the elementary schools have the same food. As far as whether there's cell towers or not, I think it's more of the.
Somebody got some crazy noise going on constantly. I don't know who it is.
Whoever ain't talking, mute your mic, Ryan. You don't pop.
I just got back, dude.
It stopped. It stopped. Whatever it was, it stopped.
Yeah,
I
do think that.
having to leave real fast.
That's the sound he's talking about right there.
Yeah, that's mine.
Oh, it's Huey. Yeah, it's Huey. That's what it is.
Mute your mic.
He might be listening to the show, and that's probably what's coming through.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good now. It's nice and clear, no sound. So that's what's up.
Yo, Dre, I appreciate you joining the goddamn show tonight too, bro.
No
hey, what
problem,
up,
bro?
JoJo?
I'm glad I got the invite, man.
Peace, family. Dre up on the panel too.
It's good to see you, God.
What's up, God? You got Huey
What's
on
happening?
the panel too. Oh man, all the senseis in the house.
What's up, Sensei?
What's Gucci Versace?
Yo, July. Yo, man, we got a new person on the panel tonight, y'all. Person that first time on the panel tonight. Besides you, Dojo and Dre, we got July on here. July, man, go ahead and build with the brothers about some stuff, man.
Yeah, come on in.
We definitely building. I'm listening. I'm taking the info. Putting my input in.
You're the one from Chicago, right? Hey, before when your phone was sounding a little rough earlier, you were getting ready to say something, and then you had to get offline and come back. But you were in the middle. You were getting ready to say something. I don't know if you remember what you were getting ready to do.
July, I did a video, but I took it down. I did a video on about Zach TV and the incident that occurred with his untimely demise. Now, what's your sentiments on the situation in Zach TV and how did it affected his short life?
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I used to watch Zach a lot, and
especially with Kanika Jenkins, right?
Yeah, and that shit was terrible. Like, I don't know what was with that, bro. You too damn grown to be your name shouldn't even be caught up in none of that shit. You feel me? Like, that shit kind of unruly to me. But in my opinion, bro, he was too fucking grown to, like, a lot of people say he was promoting these young brothers. You know, he just going around interviewing them. He don't tell them what to say or none. But I felt like he was stirring up most of this violence that was happening. Like when this BDK GD war started, like back in 2012, bro. Like I said, man, that's when Zach was the most prominent. Like he was dropping 2-3 videos every day, you know, and it just again, like it stirred up more drama between the black people, and I feel like that was the wrong type of media we didn't need, you know.
That brother might have been an agent, might have been a provocateur put there to do just that.
You never know. Yeah, sometimes people come into realities just to alter them shits.
Let me ask you a question about that brother real quick, because I don't even know who he is or whatever. Is he still around?
No, Zach TV.
He got
he
killed.
passed away. Yeah.
Oh.
And
Okay.
that's a mystery. Like, you know, everybody like, who the fuck would kill
And it's
him,
like they
this and
say he
that.
was coming from a club. He got killed. Like the dude was pulled over. I don't know, man.
See,
it's
now
hard
to
to explain it. It was crazy.
Now, to me, just to me, as an outsider looking in, because like I said, I knew a little bit about the Kanika Jenkins and whatever what that was going on, but just to know that he might have been that type of brother that was constantly stirring the pot with that type of energy. And then after that shit dies down, all of a sudden he's off the scene. You know, he died mysteriously in an accident or whatever the case may be. That tells me that brother was a provocateur and he was put out on the scene to do a specific thing, and that was to push that narrative.
Facts.
I don't know. That this kind of sounds a little suspicious and out there and far fetched, but to me, the way it's sounding to me, like someone actually went out there and like on purposely did some damage to this guy and killed. You know, I mean, that's just me, and I try to think outside the box of like what ifs, and you always have to with situations like this. Because you like, okay, well, here's a scenario. This is what we got to work with. Well, you start to go, well, we're gonna pull like some copish type shit and go, well,
Okay. You want to get there? So look, Ryan, you can probably be more relative in this situation than us.
Yeah, I can't give people the credit like that, because I know how this system gets down. And when they want to push a narrative, that's what they got crisis actors and shit like this for. When they want to push a specific narrative, it ain't no qualms for them to throw somebody out there to stir the pot for a year, 2 years, 6 months, whatever the case may be, and then that person just disappears like they never existed, whether it's through an accident or they just fall off. You know, so when I see shit like that, just because I know how this system is and the type of shit that they do in order to manipulate the minds of the people to steer it in a certain direction, I don't look at it as, oh, he just happened to, you know, on some slep rock shit and somebody ran up on him and did whatever, blah, blah, blah. No, to me, that's a motherfucker that was put out there to do a specific thing
let's talk about
at a specific time.
Let's talk about 6ix9ine. He got all these charges right now. They say it's like 12 to 17 different charges.
Dude, ain't nothing gonna happen to him. Ain't nothing
but 22, right? That moved him from the jail he was in to another jail, right? And now he's saying he wasn't really a gang member. He's saying he wasn't really a blood. He just was doing it for record sales. Yeah. So what's you guys take on 6ix9ine with the Rico? He got hit with some Rico charges.
Ain't nothing gonna happen to him. First of all, the guy that was his manager, the Elliott cat, his dad is like the most powerful guy in the music business. And as long as you're making money for somebody, they're gonna find a way for you to get out of jail.
Yeah, here too. They take care of him. Absolutely.
I don't know. I've kind of listened to 6ix9ine, and I'm truly, on my perspective, I'm not really a big fan of him and his music. Like anyone,
I don't even know who the fuck he is.
Fuss with his music and be all about it.
Well, it's not even being a fan. It's just far as like hip hop. Okay, we see Rollo was one of the first. You got your boy ARAP, then you had your boy Chino. You know what I'm saying? And it's like every hip hop artist, and they getting on these certain platforms, and they're engaging in content which is exposing their integrity, which gets them locked up because of the things they say.
Right. Hey, let me ask you a question. Now you're talking about the. Do you think it's been
That
worse
could
with
be a
these
ritual.
rappers now? Do you think it's worse with these rappers now since they're in control of their own social media to a certain degree, a little bit? Like before social media was out, rappers would go to
Yeah, I
jail
mean,
and
you
do their
didn't see
thing.
Tupac
But it's
and
not
Biggie getting locked up talking about just because
right. Now you got
some
these cats
shit.
on
You know
Twitter.
what I'm saying?
Or
Like,
they do.
like,
There's weird
like,
stuff
like
going
if
on.
it, like if social media was around back then, Tupac and Biggie would have never died.
Exactly.
And the search from a certain point of view, that's how I think of it because like they said, they had Shotty, your boy that yelled Treyway, right?
Yeah,
The dude that was yelling Treyway, right?
yeah, man.
His phone was tapped, and all of 6ix9ine people that was working for him phone was tapped. So that tells you that they was already watching his ass because he was already wilding out. He was already on probation for some what was it, statutory rape. They had sex with an underage girl. So he already had a nigga president, and he was already watching him.
We could follow your timeline. We ain't got to do nothing but watch you. We gonna follow your timeline every day. All you doing is smoking weed and popping pills and popping hoes, talking about all the shit you doing. You hanging with everybody who we investigating. Nigga, y'all the motherfuckers who we looking at.
Well, hold on now, because I did see this earlier though, Huey. I seen this, and I think it was maybe on Facebook. I can't remember where I saw it was. 6ix9ine put a hit on Chief Keef, like $30K. Like he was on the phone.
Yeah, I see that, man. That was speculation. He talking about, I swear to God, I got a bag on him. He said, I got a bag on him. I got 30, and then he say 30 G's on him. But he didn't really necessarily say. He didn't really necessarily say, but just saying that alone could get you into some shit. You know
I see it like this on some real. If you just look at the whole industry in general, it's a part of the Hollywood scene, whether it's taking place on Facebook, IG, whatever the case may be.
That's why I got love in hip hop.
It's all a part of the narrative in order to push that agenda that it's okay to put hits on people. It's okay to go out and smoke somebody with an AK because they want motherfuckers to act up like that. To me, this shit is all scripted in one way or another. It might not be scripted down to the words that the people use and the actions that they take, but as far as the overall programming, it's all a part of the damn system. They do that shit like that to stir the pot and to get people interested in that bullshit. It takes their minds away from the things that their minds should be focused on. It's a big ass mind fuck. Absolutely, it's a big ass mind fuck, and people fall for it hook, line, and sinker every goddamn day, all day.
Hey, that's so true because I don't know if y'all remember when Meek Mill got out of jail the second time, and he started, doing stuff for the community in Philly and stuff. They was calling him like the new revolutionary and shit. And I'm just sitting back like, this the same nigga that still spitting his raps like, I spent $200,000 on a Rolls Royce just to burn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we steady promoting these niggas going to jail, getting out, and that's the image of our black men. Like, yeah, you can overcome jail by becoming a rapper, and you know what I'm saying? Like that shit.
And going to jail is a rite of passage. They glorify that shit. It's all a part of the mind fuck. It's all a part of the game. At the end of the day, they just the idol, just like the big time ones up in Hollywood. It's just on a lower level to deal with the lower level citizen.
See, hip hop ain't the same like it was back in the day, like when we were growing up.
I had another question. What do you guys think about this? I've been seeing this for the last week or so. This Kim Porter, Illuminati, Puffy Killer, or Queen, whoever, whether it was Puffy, Quincy, or whatever son killing her, like it was a sacrifice or something. What's that all about?
I have no idea. I've not heard about anything about that.
Kim Porter used to be, she's the mother of 3 of Puff Daddy's kids that died, and they're talking about it was a sacrifice.
But see, I can't really see it as a sacrifice, man. Like I
can't either.
Yeah.
So is Kim Porter?
But it happened.
I can't. Yeah, but it happened. But maybe let's say she died. I can't see her as a sacrifice for nothing.
Is she dead?
Maybe. Yeah, she
died.
Okay, so who was she connected to? That
was P Diddy. P Diddy. Baby
she had
3 kids.
She had 3 kids with.
Okay,
she had 3 kids with Puff Daddy, and her oldest kid she had with Al B. Sure.
Okay, so then
Al B. Sure, he his son play on that show my wife be watching, Star. and he played on that the one ATL. He was a little brother on ATL.
Dude, he got the unibrow.
Yeah, his mom.
Was that him? Was that him? I don't know. He wasn't on ATL. No, he was on that movie. What was it? 98 Minutes. The one where he was trying to go to college and trying to get his little brother or cousin to go to college, and he ended up getting shot and killed at the end. It was like some Atlanta shit. It's called 98 Minutes. Y'all gotta look at that. 96 Minutes. But what was the name of that movie?
I know what you're talking about. I think I may have seen that one.
Yeah.
Yo, just real quick, back to this Kim Porter thing. Now she connected to Puff Daddy, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So
That was her son in the movie I was talking about.
Okay, so but Puffy's connected. He wanted them Illuminati type motherfuckers anyway. He up in the ranks with that shit. Sure. So okay, now I look at it like this, whether it's that way or not. I see it like this. If Kim Porter died and she's connected to Puffy, that was a sacrifice that Puffy made in order to maintain his status amongst those people.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's possible.
So I'm gonna ask y'all this. What y'all
Yeah.
think about I don't know if y'all been hearing about these folks, but they call melanation. Now they're going by carbonation, and now there's about 3, 4, 5 of them pregnant down there.
That's that crazy motherfucker, Nature Boy.
Yeah, Nature Boy, Eligio.
Yeah,
I heard of him.
I tried to get him to come on the panel tonight, but I couldn't. But he seen my message because it say he seen my message, but he didn't really. He ain't hit me back and come on to the panel.
I haven't seen him.
What do y'all think about them women having them lotus births over there, and Mama Willow, which is Serenity now, I believe, the Christ, or however, he changed the names every month. Yeah. So her name's Serenity, and she's skinny as fuck, and she just had that baby out there in Mexico. Now I looked up where it's at. It's in Palenque, Mexico, or something like that. Chapultes, and they probably ain't been keeping up with signing they what you call it? Not the visa, but y'all know what I'm talking about, man. I don't go out the country that much, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
The passport, you gotta have your passport updated.
Yeah, but they ain't getting that shit checked up every 3 days, and they having babies out there now. And
see, they
got more people coming out. More people coming out there. What y'all think about carbonation, aka melanation?
I think the boys are fraud for one, because it's a couple people exposing, like Pharaoh exposing bad, you know what I'm saying? But they got some good ideas, but they
doing some of their ideas I can rock with.
Right, like the lotus birth, for instance. The lotus birth is something that people should be doing, and once they understand the connection between the child and the umbilical cord, and you realize what that's about, you're supposed to leave that umbilical cord attached until it dries out, because it's still feeding that
Have
child.
Y'all seen the video?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I've heard of the Nature Boy.
Hold on, man. Man, hold on. We live right now, and I'm talking. Have y'all seen the video? Man, I'm popping this shit up.
Hey, real quick, what did you think about these brothers at this Chipotle thing trying to run with the food?
Hold on, what you mean Chipotle trying to run with the food?
The brothers that went in Chipotle and they were screaming racism because the gal wouldn't give her the food, but the manager of the store had seen them before.
Yo, I didn't see that video, but I did see a video where it was a crowd of black kids, and this
that was
white guy pulled out a gun. And yeah, McDonald's. And this white guy pulled out a gun, and the manager was a white lady.
Trying to put him out the store.
Trying to put him out the store.
She ain't even called the cops or nothing. Yeah, and then she got an attitude because everybody's like, "Fuck out of here, we ain't leaving." I'm
not about to go out there. This dude got a gun.
Yeah, she was on some other shit. I would have hit her in the head with a Big Mac. Shut the fuck up. Sit your ass down.
No, I didn't see that. I have to check that one out. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, she tried to put it. She told me, I want everybody out the store.
She actually tried to put him out. And I'm actually going to do a video on that separately, too.
See, this reminds me of a story that I saw on Facebook. And speaking about, people, getting all up in people's, bullshit. I was watching this video one time, and it was this white dude. And yeah, I may be white as shit. But, this is a situation where a white dude got ballsy enough to get into a sister's face, and she's pregnant, and this brother that did not know if her spit to Adam.
Oh, that was in the parking lot at a Walmart.
Yeah, you saw that shit?
Yeah. He pulled out on him too. He drew down on him like, yeah, what?
Yeah, where y'all seeing all this shit at? Well, I be missing all this shit, bro. I be
A lot of that shit be on Facebook.
Oh yeah, that's why my girl, she be seeing all that shit. I don't be on that shit.
I've been fucking with the Facebook lately because that's where all the zombies is at. I'll be in there trying to kill zombies.
But I saw that video and I was like, this dude's stupid.
Yeah. He was out of line.
Let me ask y'all this. Should black men just protect black women that we don't know? Like
we should protect all women, brother.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what skin color they are, and it doesn't matter what skin
white, bro. Like both of y'all just said that. He said that you know that he white, and you said that you know that you black. Now I want to ask both of y'all. Now we are intelligent brothers, and we are truth seekers. Now let me just ask both of you brothers this question. All right, this is a serious ass question. What was you taught was black, and what were you taught black was white? And have you ever seen any person on this planet that looked like either one of those colors?
Nah. I mean, I ain't gonna front. I seen a couple brothers that was close.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? But they wasn't really quite black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they dark brown.
That's why I prefer chocolate.
So
I like chocolate better.
So all around this planet, this is a fact. Every being on this planet is a shade of a brown.
Exactly. I'm like the whitest black dude you could possibly ever meet.
But see, that's where people drop the ball. They don't really truly understand the term of human. Hue is a range of on a color scale. You know what I mean? The hue spans the gamut from the darkest dark to the lightest. It's all a hue. That's where the human come from. Exactly.
Yeah. We're men of different colors. We're men of different hues.
But see, I look at it this way. The word hue means it doesn't matter what skin color you may be. We're all brothers and sisters, no matter what skin color we are.
And that just to say, because now I'll be on a couple panels and I've been kind of labeled as a coon. You feel me? You know, all right, whatever. Like I'm not just with the fucking. I've been there with the black this, but motherfuckers be sounding worse than the KKK. These motherfuckers sound worse than KKK, brother. I'm just like for real, like. That I be hearing, like I be like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is going on with the mindset?
Hey Huey, you right, G. Like it's so many names another black man would call another, Afro man just because he's saying, "Oh, I choose to integrate." You know what I'm saying? Like you get called Sambo, Crispy. You got all these different words. That's the same when the KKK was like you. Porch monkey, you know what I'm saying? It's the same dialogue.
The only reason why they do it is because you threaten their paradigm. That's all, and they feel like they gotta say something to try to strike a blow. Other than that, that's just a sign of a weak person when they gotta resort to calling a brother a name that's speaking the truth. That just shows how weak they are.
And here's the thing, though, too. This is where when you say KKK. Speaking about people that believe in the white persona of the whites should stick with whites and the blacks should stick with blacks and yada yada yada. Now, this is where I draw the line. I can care two fucks less what skin color you may be. I'm going to try to get along and be an equal person. I don't give a shit if you're black, green, purple. I don't, the culture doesn't mean nothing but brotherhood and sisterhood, no matter what race you may be. Like these KKK people that's like all about the KKK and the white supremacy and all that bullshit, they get all pissed off when they see a white guy. It doesn't matter if it's a white guy integrate with African Americans. or as they're known now as black folks. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's just the whole persona of they get so pissed off about it. I can care less. I'm gonna try to show that love and respect to my brothers.
You know what's so crazy though? You know what's so crazy? Because I be looking at numbers and shit, right? Not to cut you off,
right?
But check this out. Like when you dealing with the white and black, right? All right. That's the separation. That's the fight, right? It's whites against the blacks. It's the in the conscious so-called African American community or black community, whatever you want to call it. Exactly. All right. When you awaken, it's the white man we gotta defeat. All right. So this is our war, right? We alleviate the Chinese man, the Mexican man, the Arab man, the fucking everything else in the spectrum, because it's just the white man and the black man's fighting, right? In the middle of all everything else, where do all the other people lay at? What color?
Well, you know what? They're actually becoming white. Those people are becoming white. When you look at a census form, like they're like, "Are you white, Hispanic? Are you black?" You know, like I'm noticing that all of them are becoming white.
No, but that's not by their design. They don't choose to do that.
Right. So I agree with you, but that's just what's happening, though.
When they go, because this is what happens when they go to jail and when they go to prison, they're labeled as white. Their wristband says white. You feel me? And that's what shows the demographics of is balanced out with the so-called African Americans and blacks in the prison system and the whites in this prison system. You feel me? When it's really the Hispanic and us that's in the prison systems, that's filling the prison systems, and they got the Hispanics and all the Latinos labeled as fucking whites. You feel me?
They do that. They do that to try and maintain that demographic because apparently the Caucasian is at zero birth rate. You know, from what they say, and they do that to bolster the numbers.
Because they are.
Yeah,
because
you're gonna catch Indians, like people from India and Pakistan that is dark as us. But they're going to still be considered white. Pretty soon it's going to be, if your hair isn't kinky or can't be kinky, you're not white. You know, that's what's going to eventually happen. If you can grow a fro, you know, if you can't grow a fro, you're white. And you could be, you know, as dark as heck. That's how they're going to be eventually labeling it. Because those people from India, they don't relate to black people.
And that's true.
You know, I'm talking about like Gupta, Sandra, Gupta or Vagesh or whoever, they do not relate.
They don't identify.
And they come over there and they get them jobs at Microsoft and whatever. They do not identify as black. And some of them are as dark as me.
They don't identify, but they do fucking recognize and identify with us, bro. You got to realize, you just got to get out there and mingle. We are all around the world the same, bro. Yeah, I talk to people all around the world, bro, all the time, bro, every day, all day. And guess what, bro? We ain't no difference, bro.
But the white people in America don't look at them as black. They look at them as white as well.
Until they get pissed off. As soon as they get pissed at them, they're gonna be black.
Exactly. At the end of the day, they black. This is what they do because they deal with them on the nationality basis. This is what they dealing with them as, and long as they keep us unaware of it, because they think that when they coming over from the other countries, they're taught correctly, so they're not taught on our school system. You feel me? So they coming over here, they not realizing how we were taught, and they thinking that we know our nationality and we're not acting in our proper persona because they coming over here and they getting the land of the free. What they came over here for was they open up a business and open up, you know what I'm saying, and not to have to pay taxes and shit like that. And so they give them these things long as they don't partake with us. You feel me?
Yeah,
and so
I think the biggest problem, and I agree with you, I think the biggest problem is socially constructed conditioning. You know what I mean? Like
it's classism. Absolutely.
Different. Like white people got their own conditioning, so they talk white supremacist shit. Black people are taught, the slave rhetoric. Indians are taught, the Muslim or whatever rhetoric everybody is taught. That's why they call it different cultures, because it's teaching us to take pride in that cult, or that, that label, like Dre said earlier, bro. Like, I feel like we all are embracing labels that were given to us, instead of saying, hey, damn, I think we all just came from the North Pole. We all are humans. Let's try to get along, because we all in this
Right.
fucking system.
Fact.
It's a
I
white
agree.
dude that worked right next to me that's drinking the same water I am. So, bro, I don't
Right.
give a fuck what how much bread you got, nigga. If they told you Walmart not selling water no more, you gonna die just like I will. You feel me?
Right.
Facts.
But you know what it is too? Like earlier, somebody was talking about, and I tell people this, like, because we don't have, like you said, we don't have for us to go back to. Now, if you talk about people from India or China, let's say just Asia, right? They come over here and they get decent jobs, or they get degrees, or whatever they do. But at the same time, when Americans go to India or Asia or China or whatever, they offer them cheap labor as well. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like an exchange thing. Like, you got these Chinese and people from India coming over, and they're getting jobs and they're working.
No,
but you got people from the U.S.
Speaking of the Chinese, you see what the Chinese are doing over there in Africa. They done built 30 police stations in different countries over there in Africa. 30 different Chinese police stations.
They're no joke. They're no
and
joke.
Listen, they're building Chinese embassies. China, they say, is trying to.
Let me ask you, who authorized that? Who authorized that?
The
African government.
Presidents and the African governments of them countries. They authorizing that shit.
They
and
actually teach Mandarin by law.
And now they got it over there to where these Asian folks are coming in, because the fucking Africans, like, listen, I'm not going to digress from being an American. And I'm not going to digress from being black and possibly of African descent.
Okay.
But
I have a question. As soon as I got a question,
hold on.
Okay, go
China
ahead.
is trying to repopulate out of China into Africa. They trying to make, you get what I'm saying?
Right. What do Chinese people do where they can open up communities no matter where they go in all kinds of countries? Because they're in Mexico.
Well, see, it had nothing to do with that. You know what said it? Akon. Akon said, I'm trying to do the light up Africa. He done lighted up 600 million homes. But listen,
Akon is a sellout. Yo,
this is what it has to do with everything. Listen, he did a $30 billion deal with China. They gave him a credit. They gave him an impeccable credit loan. And they say, go ahead. You want to light them up? Go ahead. And China already said in their factories, because you got Shenzhen, which is one of the bootlegging capitals of China.
Right, yeah.
They got over millions and millions of solar panels. Akon done tucked them with the credit loan, and he getting them to make them into machines to where you could take them out there in rural Africa, where the villages do not have running electricity, and possible where they're able to charge their little iPhones, because everybody love an iPhone, right? They don't really fuck with the Androids, but they love them damn iPhones. They love an iPhone like a fucking trophy you done won from the Olympics. Now listen, they doing that shit, and they got that Akon lighting up the whole fucking Africa, right? Okay, so we got whole Africa lighted up. But thanks to who? China, because of that $30 billion goddamn Akon has a $3 trillion credit loan. He can buy anything you want out of China right now, and he goddamn build that shit in fucking Africa. And that's what he's doing. He's trying to make Africa look good on the side. Now listen, like I said, China has been arresting motherfuckers like hell because they building embassies all over Africa, because they have factories which they are manufacturing shit. So when you see shit made in China, it's really made in Africa now, because you got all these factories in China that's building it. You got 30 police stations. Now listen, you got 50 countries in Africa and you got 30 police stations. So what that tell you? Damn police station got them just about in every country.
Okay, let me ask you. I have a couple questions. The first one is, okay, what are Chinese people doing that African Americans can't as far as making them so they can go to all these different, because they're in Mexico, they're everywhere. Chinese are doing something.
They're unified for one.
Listen,
right? Exactly.
Yeah,
okay.
they're unified.
You one thing. Okay.
You know how
Besides
United Arab Emirates, you know how the Emirates look right now, right? Abu Dhabi and Dubai, all them expensive ass cities with them amazing skyscrapers. China trying to buy that up. What they're really trying to do is over time get rid of the people from that thing, and they trying to start new cities and basically change the shape of how Africa look. They doing the same thing they did with Dubai. Because if you would have seen how Dubai wasn't even a place, if you would have seen it back in 1951, or Las Vegas,
not even in the 80s, it was barren.
Vegas. We can even say Las Vegas. See that shit in the 50s, and then you look at it now and be like, whoa. So they're looking at Africa like that because the people still have somewhat of a primitive mind state because they live different than us. They don't live to the European type of society. Right. They live.
And it's different.
Listen, China's
different. So now China sees that, and China is taking advantage because they already know what Americans want. Americans want anything. That's why you got people ordering shit online and they say made in China. They know Americans want anything.
All over again.
So now they are trying to invade Africa, man. I'm telling y'all some real shit.
Apartheid all over again. And watch. You talk about all those police stations.
30 police stations.
No.
They got 50 countries in Africa. 30 police stations.
This is what it's really about with China and Africa. It's really about the resources. The reason why they're putting up. The reason why they putting up all these, the reason why they putting up all these police stations is because they know eventually shit is going to pop off because the government over there is basically giving this shit away to these Chinese people because they line in their pockets on an individual level.
Say, no, once we get this shit, we ain't giving it back.
Exactly, but
we ain't giving it back.
And that's the reason for all the police stations because they trying to protect the resources that they.
Right, but I'm saying
taking over.
But I'm saying that.
But I'm saying if you police stations in 50 countries, man.
But that's a bunch of armed people. Remember when the apartheid happened?
It's not even that they armed. They're bringing Asians in as citizens.
They're trying to displace the Africans.
Just like the shit that's going on in America, how you got people trying to goddamn leave their country and all that shit, and they trying to come over here. That's what they doing over there.
And that's what happened.
Seeing that you got a Chinese embassy, motherfuckers in Bangkok and Shenzhen and all them other countries, they coming in and there because they know they got a Chinese embassy right there. So they're building a Chinese community while they got them building all these factories. They got these African workers working there to build these solar panels to ship out to the African towns, and you got you're hiring Chinese dudes to be the security. Go to one Chinese restaurant.
Been doing this shit.
You seen a person other than a Chinese motherfucker goddamn take your order.
That's
it's like that. They like that everywhere. They like that in Europe. Go to one Chinese restaurant. Goddamn, man, I'm telling you, they're gonna have their kind there. They ain't gonna hire no black motherfucker there.
That's what I'm saying. It's gonna be taken over just like the apartheid happened. And the other thing that's gonna happen, because everybody's conquered Africa at one time or another, and now it's the Chinese getting ready to do it. If you got,
they trying to do it, and see, they feel they got Russia to back them. They feel they got Russia to back them because they feel, goddamn, Trump is a dotard according to North Korea. So now China and North Korea really on the low. They laughing at America.
China is poised.
We voted a stupid ass motherfucking cracker in the president.
So the white people out there in Africa.
See, it's just how it all ties in together. Hold on. At the bigger picture. Ain't no hold up. Goddamn, Trump ain't say hold up. He'll just say grab him by the pussy or push the button. We're talking about.
No, I'm watching the live feed here on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay. And I want to just point this out that someone in the chat had said something about they're selling organs too, also in Africa.
Yeah, they're doing that in China too.
Oh yeah, man. That's what they're doing. They're trying to start.
It doesn't matter like how
in Libya they doing that. And listen, you got motherfuckers think they are Americans because they done traumatized these people and got their head fucked up. So you got the whole Liberia thinking they are an American state, and the poorest capital in the world over there is Monrovia, where they are shitting on the beaches,
But
where they
see,
drinking the water too. That's Monrovia. Monrovia.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
The Chinese people got a holiday where they fucking goddamn celebrate eating fucking dogs.
No, it's true. Yeah, they do 10,000 dogs. They kill. Yeah, they burn 10,000 dogs alive. I've seen that. And that's their delicate. That's what they eat, though. You know.
Yeah, that's like a delicacy. They do that like
Yeah.
once a year.
Yeah.
They
I don't
got
know.
them get a bunch of dogs in cages and eat them.
I won't even
Yeah.
try that shit. I'm like, nah.
I wouldn't try it.
That
I wouldn't
shit
try
give
that
new
shit.
meaning to hot dogs. You know what I mean? What the
Yeah.
fuck?
There you go.
That's like the Chinese version.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they burn them alive, man. Yeah, they pour hot water on them and burn them. And them dogs, you know, they kill them alive.
Yeah. They put them on a rack and all that. No, they got one in a cage. Like
Some
if the dog
motherfucking
quit,
rotisserie Rottweiler out
they'll
there.
keep them out for a minute, and they'll let the dogs run around and shit, and they'll let the kids go grab them, and they'll kill the motherfucking goddamn
Some deep
dogs
fried
in front of the
Doberman.
kids. Yeah, they'll fry them and all that. And they'll go like right there and there.
Now you guys know why I don't eat meat.
Some motherfucking poached poodle out this motherfucker.
Yo, for real.
This shit is crazy.
Like you can look this shit up. Yo,
I know they do it. I seen that shit on Faces of Death years ago. The little boy, like
man, go on
family,
Vice.
yo,
Vice
the
tell you that
little
shit.
family, they
Just
actually
like
had
General
dogs.
Y'all heard about General Butt Naked?
General Tao's Shih Tzu and shit. This one is crazy. The fuck,
man. For real, man. Some real shit.
Damn.
Well, motherfuckers be goddamn going through some fucked up shit in their life cycle. But you got to understand, see, from my perspective, I think that we all are trying to make sense and trying to make our rights with our past life. So the life we are in right now, we're trying to make it right with our past life to elevate, you know, to get to that highest self, to elevate. And see, sometimes we indulge in realms, and when I say realms, I'm talking about, let's say, right, social. Social means you're able to communicate and all that. Now, let's say we got something that magnetizes, intensifies that signal to where we are able to alleviate and spread our word and touch other people. So now the social becomes social media. And see, when it becomes media, it gets spread to the masses. Now that it's getting spread to the masses, all kind of wrong and inappropriate things are being spread to the wrong way because people are indulging and engaging into having negative perspectives, and people are taking that in and they're registering that in as man, I like that shit. That shit's cool. So now you got people out on drugs and they glorifying the shit, and you got people out here gang banging because they say, man, this they hood, and if you don't got them rep with this shit, you don't get down. Then fuck that, goddamn, we ain't fucking with you. Then you got other people that just feel like they just gotta have a sense of purpose. When you don't understand the sense of purpose is yourself, you gotta love yourself before you can love anything. And now all this shit is happening, and then you realize, like, what the fuck is going on? My reality is living in other realities. So now you understand the earth is a big mold of creation. We're living in a matrix, because I don't look at if the earth is flat or round. I look at it as like it's a hologram. And see, you'll understand that when you see photons is what gives us the energy, and we're looking at all this matter, and our brain is making sense of it. Like Hugh even said one of the last videos, looking at shit upside down, but we just don't even know it. Man, the world we are living in is surrounded around other worlds. Now, when you indulge in this social media and all this stuff, these communities, those are realms. Just like y'all right now, y'all are indulging in a realm. Y'all are engaging in converse in another realm, and these people are watching. These 6 viewers right now are enticed by this realm. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
This,
yeah.
this is a realm of all our realities, and we all got to learn to make
solid
sense.
point there. Knowledge, you really do.
This, I'm just saying.
Now, I want to bring something up real quick. I mean, this is going back to the live, YouTube chat that we got going on here for our live stuff here.
Yeah.
And I want your guys' opinion, because I'm not going to throw out, the people that's, chatting and saying these subjects and saying what's,
Well, see, everybody is stuck in their own realm, and everybody has an inquiring mind. And with everybody having an inquiring mind,
I'm just saying
things can never.
I'm not going to say they name, on the mic. I'm going to give them that privacy and that the knowledge that I'm not going to throw your name out there on blast. But this one person said, and now I want your guys' opinion.
Okay.
Media president in war is all a puppet show. Your take?
That's possible.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's a puppet show because everything is an illusion. You listen to what I'm saying?
And it's like the whole Illuminati stuff we're going back to all over again. It kind of feeds
when your public people play on your actions. They see what they can make you do depending on what you do when they try to tease you or test you. You get what I'm saying?
Your news broadcast is your programming to get you to think in a specific type of way, and then when it comes to this war, it's primarily, as far as I'm concerned, it's primarily blood sacrifice. But they make they make money on top of it, and then they use that money to further perfect their manipulation.
Okay, brother. When you say blood sacrifice, you're in reference to who's doing these blood sacrifices?
The people, whether you want to call them demons or vampires, whatever you want to call them, but there are people in this society, as there were people in ancient societies that lived by the blood sacrifice. Blood rituals never stopped since the beginning. Since people been on this earth, there's always been a sect of the population that participated in sacrifices, blood rituals of some sort. You look back into the cultures with the Inca, the Maya, all of these cultures, ancient cultures, virtually all of them had some form of blood rituals or sacrifice. And at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, these people that still practice those types of ideologies, they use the stage of war in order to do that on a mass scale. That's how they, as far as I'm concerned, that's how they communicate and appease these deities or demons, whatever you want to call them, in realms that we can't function in and deal with.
Now, and the thing is I'm glad this person that's in our live chat had said this, because in a way, we see their standpoint, being live right now, and it just kind of shows the possibilities of things that, yes, it could be happening with the whole puppet show. But see, that's the whole thing, folks, with this thing, the world these days, and that involves around politics. Okay, and like our president and our Congress and shit. It's all
that's all a shit show.
Puppet show.
It's all a shit show.
Hell yeah, man! That's just man. If that was anybody else, they would have been goddamn impeached and all that. This is just a goddamn fucking Donald. This is like watching the goddamn what's that show they used to have, The Apprentice. It's like watching that old silly ass shit, but he's controlling the country.
At the end of the day,
goofy as hell.
At the end of the day, politics serve a couple reasons at least, and that's basically to divide the people. It's that Hegelian dialectic.
Yeah.
They divide the people,
Separatism.
and then they distract you from what's really going on. And as long as they got you
Control your
wrapped,
mind, put
yeah,
spells on
as
your
long
programs.
as they got you wrapped up in this politics and shit like that, your mind is not focused on the
Confuse you.
real shit, the big picture. And then why the general public's all focused in on that bullshit shit show that they call politics. They behind the scenes perfecting a way to basically fuck you.
Right. But see, and here's the thing is, you know how we start getting the whole voting, that we got candidates of, you know, the next president and all that hip hop blue bull bullshit. They say they want to say all this blah 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 bullshit, but do they really succeed in the long run world? That I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that.
Let me tell you something, because I do vote, and I do think that
too.
And what I do, I think what happens with the voting, and I think it's a good thing in the simple fact that I've been a registered libertarian for nearly 20 years, but my voting, you know, I have my own point of views. I'm not a big fan of titles, but I understand the use for titles, because it's easier to say, okay, this is what I represent, as opposed to sitting there and explaining to everybody what you're. If you say I'm a Christian, then people will say, okay, I get an idea of what you are. Or if you say that, you know, I do kung fu, then they understand exactly what you do. So it's a shorter way of explaining to people what you do without having to sit there for an hour and telling them what it is that you do. So the titles don't bug me that much, but I'm not a fan of titles. In regards to the voting thing, voting is just market research. All you do when you vote, they'll have an idea of what the people want. Even if they don't give it to you, they have an idea of they have information of what they can use. Even if it's for bullshit, to say, okay, this is what the people want. We at least got to use this as a front so we can get the people's votes. So it's almost like market research. So it's all it is just really market research. They say, okay, this is what people want.
It's a gauge. It's a gauge to see how stupid people still are. That's what it is, as far as I'm concerned. Because listen, when you live within a system that is completely corrupt and defunct, and it does not function the way that it might have been ideally intended to, it doesn't function that way. And when you live in a system that is set up that way, these people are not going to allow individuals like you and I who go to the polls and cast our vote. They're not going to allow our votes to change something that they've been trying to perfect over hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. So basically the voting tool is just a pacification for people to feel like they have some power in the process that's taking place. It's a big ass sham. It ain't doing nothing. That vote that you cast, I don't care who it is, where you cast it, and who you cast it for. Ultimately, it's not going to affect that machine. That's like you having an engine that's blown out in your pickup truck, and you change the alternator thinking it's going to make the engine run again.
Right, and like someone said in the chat here, it's a mindset, and it's true. All that voting stuff is mainly a mindset.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
And I think that, but I think if you do go, like let's say if you do vote, even if you just write your own name in,
that's what I do.
Yeah, and I think that's cooler than like not doing anything at all, for the simple fact, if people see that you're not with the two parties, or that you're voting for yourself or Donald Duck or whoever, then they get the idea where people don't like this shit. We better do, you know what I mean?
Now, y'all gonna laugh because you said Donald Duck. Okay, so the last time I really voted, and this is no shit, no lie, and I don't care for anyone who hears this shit, I really did not want to vote for Donald Trump. I didn't want to vote for Hillary Trump either. I didn't want to vote for none of them little two dopes.
I wrote in Brewster's Millions.
I straight up, and I do not lie. I put on my ballot on my own because you could do that shit. Mm-hmm. I straight up put other, and I wrote Mickey Mouse on that shit.
I put Brewster's Millions.
Fucking Mickey Mouse over these two.
I'm gonna start putting my name on everything.
But listen, let me tell you something.
My name on everything.
This is where the United States, as far as the citizens concerned, dropped the ball with the Clinton and Trump campaign. Now, listen, 46% of the population didn't even turn out to vote because they felt consciously that they couldn't vote for either one of these people, and they probably made the right decision as far as not voting for either one. But that was a clear indicator right there that this whole voting process and the candidates that they put before you are so morally inept and corrupted that almost half of the country couldn't even vote for either one. That's where we dropped the ball.
No.
That's where we should have really took it to the
Well,
government.
and a lot of it's got to do with the Congress.
No, but they should have voted for
Nah.
Jill Stein or Gary Johnson. They should have did a whole.
No, listen.
I want to see
You
the
can't.
system blown
You
up.
can't listen. When we live in a system where it doesn't matter, you can take a perfectly good, squeaky clean politician and place him in the arena of politics. He's either going to become corrupted or he's going to be pushed out of politics because the system is not set up for morally sound people. The system is set up to corrupt the officials that fill the positions. That's how the system has been functioning so well for so long, because the people may go in with good intentions, but once
Sure.
they realize that they got to play by the rules of these people that they work around, and they got to get dirty to make money and survive on a political level, they get down with the program and they become, corrupted politicians. So it doesn't matter. You can take somebody that's got the highest standard of morals and everything else. The moment that you place them into that system, they're going to be corrupted or they're going to be pushed out of the system.
That's
Right.
right, Dre. Talk
I
that
can agree
shit.
with that. Or get killed if they try to do something the right way.
Absolutely. And that's when you come across people like Kennedy. What did they do? They killed that man because he was.
They sniped his ass.
That's because he wasn't with the program. They had an operation called, I think it was called Operation Northwoods or something, where they wanted to do all these bombings and stuff and shoot people up in stores or whatever and blame it on Cuba so they could go to war with Cuba.
Right.
Kennedy shut that shit down. He ain't want no parts of it. Kennedy also wanted to
He had
do
a
away with
mindset
the
of
Fed.
his own, like he was trying to keep the peace and
Well,
try to
listen,
love.
yeah, because like I said before, Kennedy, just like any other president, at the end of the day, he's a tool. When he gets in office, he's still got to follow a pre-scripted program that's going to be placed before him. If he doesn't follow suit, they're going to do away with him. And that's why Kennedy didn't survive, because he was trying to blow the lid off that bullshit and let the American people know that, you know what, I'm not going to let these people take over like that. And they killed that man. So like I said before, it doesn't matter how morally stable the foundation, it doesn't matter how good that person is at heart and their intentions. Once they get into these positions, they're either going to become corrupted willingly, or they're going to be pushed out, or they're going to be killed, because the system is not designed to work for the people.
Right. And I want to go back to the chat real quick.
Right. Now I was gonna say that's why I don't worry about the Illuminati thing too much. The only reason why is because if you think you know who they are, then you're wrong. You don't know who they are. Like people say it's the Rothschilds, it's this.
The Rothschilds are just a throwaway family. That's just the front family.
Yeah, you don't know who they are. These people that are in this dark secret cult, whatever you want to call them.
We know who they are. We might not know them personally and individually, but we know who they are. We know that they gather once a year, and whatever the case may be, whether it's the Bilderbergers or when you get into some of these larger families like the Farneses and all these other people or whatever.
But I think when they meet, I don't think they like there'd be people out there protesting like at the Bilderberg.
They meet in secret.
The Bohemian Grove and all that stuff. No, these people meet. You don't even know when they're meeting.
Absolutely, they meet in secret. But at the same time, just the simple fact that we are aware that these types of things take place, and then the general public chooses to bury their fucking heads in the sand and act like the shit ain't going on, then you can't fucking cry a victim when shit hits the fan and motherfuckers start slitting people's throats and taking your food and water away. Everybody fucking knows, and if they don't know, they should know, and if they don't know, they don't know by choice. And if motherfuckers want to be ignorant and keep burying their head in the sand because they ain't got the fucking heart to stand up and fight the system, then they fucking deserve what comes to them.
No, that's not the problem. The problem is if you have a lot of people that are pacified, and happy with what they got, then they just don't care. You know what I mean? Until you affect everybody individual, that's when people start caring. But if you have like a lot of people that are like, well, I'm making my money or I'm comfortable with what I got, then it don't even matter to them. But then there's people like us that are a little more aware of what's going on or woke, right?
Yeah, that's true, because ignorance is bliss. They choose to accept that shit. That's just like the dude in the Matrix when he's chewing into that fake ass steak and he's like, this is so delicious. That's a fucking choice. You know what I'm saying? We know, like I said, we walking around with computers in our pockets. Literally, there's no reason in the world why motherfuckers should be drowning in a sea of knowledge. That's
And see,
just
that's
some
the thing
bullshit.
these days
Right.
is
That's why I
now
like that.
electronical stuff.
Like, what's that statement? Like they say, if the truth shall set you free and you reject that which is true, then slavery is a choice.
Absolutely.
Exactly. But see, back then they didn't have electronics. See, they all ran off of newspapers and certain kinds of ways of getting their facts. Now today, our way of getting this shit is a lot of our technology that's uproaring. Computers and this and that and everything else. But I want to bring something up that caught my eye in the chat. Okay. And this is from, an interesting eye that caught my, because this really just, I was looking at my phone because I have my phone in the chat and everything. And the thing is this person said, people voting for other man to rule over the family, ? That's some weird shit. Yes, I kind of agree with that. That is kind of some weird shit. We need to rule. We need to rule over ourselves and be natural and free. That's the answer. Now,
hey, so hold on. No, hold on. Pause. Let's pause this shit.
Pause.
I said the country is here. What's up, babe? Yeah.
We ain't pausing. He's funny.
Oh, you scared me up there. She hit me up there. Oh, the speakers from the laptops, they playing up there in the room upstairs.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so she hit me upstairs and she's like, "Babe, you downstairs?" And I'm like, "Yeah," but she hearing the speakers up there, like me answering, like it's freaking her the fuck out because she up there watching The Walking Dead.
Oh damn.
Let's get back on the subject here, though. I mean, I'm not trying to interrupt her up there.
Like out of nowhere, she just heard me start talking. Out of nowhere, she just heard me start talking.
As long as she's not one of the Walking Dead, she all right.
Yeah, all the zombies on Facebook, she good.
But no, like this really caught my eye, though. And P, knowledge. I think you would agree to it. Like what I just read from the chat. And I don't know if you caught what I said.
Why don't you repeat it, Ryan?
I was going to. Pete, I don't know if you heard what I said. I was reading this chat, and this one person said, "People voting for other man to rule over the family, ? That's some weird shit. We need to rule over ourselves, be natural and free. That's the answer."
I agree.
True that.
In a way, it's true because it is some weird shit. Okay.
Okay. I have a question now. Now that you said that, for anybody on the panel counter, okay, let's say no one in America voted. Let's just say no one went to the polls. What exactly would happen at that point?
They would still select the president that they want to be in office, and shit would go on as usual. And they would make up a bunch of shit talking about whoever historically low numbers have turned out to vote, blah blah blah, and then they would make up the narrative that only 20% of the people turned out, but this is the result of the vote, and then they would put in whoever the fuck they want.
Exactly. Yeah. So see, so it doesn't even matter.
Absolutely not, because at the end of the day, the United States is a corporation, and that corporation is going to have a CEO sitting in the presidential seat at all times. Them people are going to make sure of that, and they're going to put the person in that seat that they want to be running that corporation. It just so happens that at this point in time, they wanted Trump in that seat. trust me, if they wanted Hillary in that seat, Hillary would have been put in
She
that
would have
seat.
been in there. That's what I said too.
But
That's what I said.
the only reason why Hillary didn't end up in that seat is because all the bullshit started hitting the fan about how they connect to all these pedophile rings and all this other bullshit, and they knew that if they put that woman in office, it was going to fuck up their program. Regardless of what people say that, you know, it fucked up their program that she didn't get in there. Yeah, to a degree it did. But at the same time, when these people ain't ready to crash the system, they're not going to put somebody that in office that's going to blow it up.
I think people were sleeping. I think they liked Hillary so much. I think they were like ignoring the fact that she did that. After Trump won, and I seen all them people crying, I'm like, don't y'all realize she's a pedophile?
No, but none of these people. This is the problem with us people, as far as black folk are concerned, particularly in this country. We so used to traditionally voting Democrat, we don't even realize who we voting for. And I say this all the time: an unrecognized internal threat is far more dangerous than an external recognized threat. The Democratic Party has been an internal major threat for the past 100 some odd years, and we just passively vote for them because it's tradition and we think that they got our best interests at heart. First of all, no politician has your best interests at heart. But then when you take it upon yourself to vote for, hold on, brother. But when you take it upon yourself to vote for a specific political party just because it's tradition, it becomes even more dangerous, because now these people can do whatever the fuck they want to do behind the scenes because they know that they already got your vote in their back pocket. And then what? Right. They got all the eugenics programs. Motherfucking Hillary Clinton is 10 times the racist that fucking Trump could ever dream of being, only because she was connected. She had the money, she had the power. And people like Margaret Sanger are her fucking idols and shit. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck can a conscious or a person that even claims to be conscious vote for something like that? You know what I'm saying? And the only reason why they do it is tradition.
Right. For those of you who know who Margaret is, she's talking about the person that created Planned Parenthood, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, but peep the logic, though. This is how sick a lot of these people are, and they don't even realize how disconnected they are. The same people that, and don't get me wrong, this ain't no backing of Trump in any way, shape, or form. But the same people that'll jump on Trump because he's supposedly separating kids, you know, from their parents at the border and whatever that bullshit is about. But yet they don't realize that you got motherfuckers separating people from their kids in utero, in the womb. That's far worse. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the psychology of the whole shit is crazy. Like, we need to elevate that consciousness amongst ourselves. It needs to raise in leaps and bounds before we can do anything, because the way it stands right now, like, we ain't even got a leg to stand on in a lot of areas. We ain't got nothing popping socially, economically. We got no structural systems as far as business models, education. We don't, you know, it's kind of like, man, something's got to change, but it's all got to change. It's all got to start on a conscious level. That's what we lack the most.
I honestly think, though, and this is just my certain point of view, I honestly think the Congress, there in DC, they saw the chance of saying, "Oh, well, Trump's a businessman. Okay, he's a billionaire. Let's bring a billionaire in." Because he knows about money as a businessman point of view.
Right. You know, it's funny that you say that.
Point of view, they don't care that he doesn't know anything about politics.
I don't think so.
It doesn't matter. Let me tell you something.
You know, anybody else? No, hold on. Y'all talking about that? I was at the barbershop today when I got my hair cut, right? And the guy was talking. He said, "Y'all wonder why Trump ain't got impeached yet and all this shit don't happen." He said, because Trump got dirt on each and every one of them senators.
Sure.
So they got so much, Donald Trump got so much dirt because he's a billionaire. So he can expose anybody at his disposal when he want to. So that's the reason why they let him become president.
Right.
Because if it would have been a black guy, they would have been like, yeah, get him impeached. But since Trump got
I agree.
But they were saying something in that sense. If I can paraphrase it, but they were saying something like that, like Trump got a book of secrets on the fucking whole fucking political scene in Washington D.C. The senators, the fucking government people.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I think Trump usually, if it's true that they select their people, I think Trump won by accident and they didn't realize he was going to win because because I refuse to believe that Trump would have won over a Bush. The Bush family remember Jeb Bush was running in there too, and you can't convince me that they liked Trump more than Jeb Bush, who's way more politically connected than Bush.
Listen, when Trump became president, that's when I realized, man, they look at this shit like a fucking circus.
Listen, if all that shit didn't come out in WikiLeaks about Hillary Clinton, she would have been president.
I want to know what's y'all thoughts about Trump being president.
I think the reason why the only reason why he's not impeached right now is partly because he holds dirt on all these other politicians on that level, large scale level. And not only that, but Trump, look at the shit that he gets away with and the way he runs his mouth. One of Trump's main purposes of him being in office is because they want to spark off a race war. One of the main reasons.
In a sense, but they trying to start a war with Mexico.
No, that's on top of that. Yeah, I think at the front.
They fucking with Mexico hard. Trump fucking with Mexico hard.
That's all a part now. But listen, that's all a part of that. That's all a part of that paradigm, though, that racial shit that he wants. He's there to create that divide amongst whether it's black and white, or whether it's amongst white and Hispanics, or whether it's amongst Hispanics and blacks. One of his main goals, as far as him being in office, is to create that divide and spark off that racial animosity. That's one of the main. Listen, China
I don't think he will win another election, because next year we vote for president.
Honestly,
I don't. Honestly, Chief Holiday, welcome.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think Trump will become president.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we don't even have another legitimate election process because they trying to spark shit off before. I thought he was going to get assassinated.
I ain't even going to front. I thought he was going to get assassinated.
Well, with Trump too, Trump have a lot of Trump financed a lot of people too in their political endeavors in the past. But I know in 2000, I don't know, but in 2020, the guy that used to be CEO of Starbucks may run, and I think he would probably have a great chance of winning because he actually knows how to run a business as well. I think Trump, though,
you can't.
Yeah, he got in there and he touched the base.
But listen, no business. One crazy thing I can say about Trump, though. One crazy thing. Y'all remember back in the 90s, Trump was on what? Home Alone, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He was in the hip hop scene, kind of, sort of. He was in there, and he made Bobby people Brown aspire to be like him.
Listen, but this is what it's about right now.
And nowadays it's like totally different. I just threw that out there because I was thinking about that.
This is what it's about right now. China basically owns the United States. This is one of the reasons why China.
They fucking about to own Africa too.
No shit. This is what I'm saying. China basically owns the United States. You see what they're doing in Africa. China is on some power move type shit right now. They partnered up with Russia. And I'm telling you right now, it's not the person that's in office. It's not even about business dealings anymore because they don't own the fucking country. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else literally owns the country. And the moment that they choose to throw in that motherfucking bond and say, oh, we want our motherfucking money and the United States can't pay, what they going to do? They're going to seize the assets.
I'm ask you this. Do you think it's possible that we can have a nuclear war?
Listen, this is what I think is going to happen, honestly. And
I mean, not nuclear. What? Like,
no. But see, the peep game. Yo, listen, no. Listen. Y'all got a peep game though. If you know anything,
World War III is a civil war. The country's gonna have a war within itself. That's what I think it's gonna be.
This is what they're banking on, as far as I'm concerned. Come 2020, there's gonna be some sort of an event according to the cosmic clock, and they're gonna try to use that. Because what's going to happen, as far as I know, or as far as I'm concerned, there's going to be a natural phenomenon. And if you can look up the Carrington event, it's happened before in the past, and it's going to happen again. It's actually scheduled to basically happen in the year 2020. Now they're going to take
a little bit more about that.
The Carrington event.
The Carrington event, yeah. Elaborate.
All right. I'm not exactly sure what the date is, but I want to say it was probably in like the late 1800s. The Carrington event is basically It's a natural phenomena where basically the world basically for the most part is flooded with radioactivity on some level, and you can see this in the aurora borealis and these types of things, the southern and northern lights. Okay,
So like from a nuclear,
yes,
like
yes,
destruction, or
it's
something like that.
similar to a
But it's a
nuclear
natural,
blast,
though. I think
but
it's a natural event.
but it's a natural event. Now, basically, what these people are trying to do, they're trying to prolong the system long enough so that when this 2020 event pops off, they're probably going to try to say that, oh, we just got nuked or we just got attacked by China or whatever country, or it's aliens, one or the other two. They're going to do some shit like that. They're going to try to put everybody on lockdown, and use that to their advantage. That's what they're waiting for. That's one of the reasons why Trump ain't in office. He's getting impeached. He's basically there to stir the pot as much as he can. So when shit hits the fan, with this event that's gonna pop off, motherfuckers ain't gonna know how to act, and then everybody gonna wind up killing each other. That way they can keep their hands clean. I'm telling you, look, listen, man, this shit is so much bigger than people realize. It's a damn shame, but it ain't nothing to be scared of. Look, the grid's gonna go down and all that. It's gonna be like living in the motherfucking Stone Age again. And like I said, this event has happened
Medieval
before.
times. It's inevitable, huh?
Oh yeah, and it's happened before, but this is what they've been preparing for all this time. You know what I'm saying? This is why you got these motherfucking preppers, and you got all these underground bases that the military got this, that, and the other, blah blah blah. Because when this event pops off, they're gonna go hide out like bitches, let the people kill each other, blah blah blah, this, that, and the other. And then when the motherfucking smoke clears, they're gonna come out the woodwork like roaches and reestablish and keep it moving.
Right. I think in 2020 people are going to have
that's a damn Walking Dead.
I think in 2020 everybody's going to have perfect vision and everybody's going to be woke. That's my prediction.
But that's a part of that natural event though. When that natural radiation comes from the North Pole, it's supposed to do just that. It's supposed to basically cleanse the people and give you that nuclear vision. That's hold
on. Pause. You say radiate from the North Pole?
Absolutely. Because this is where the event originates from, and it radiates from the North Pole.
So it's like a ripple effect that's like
absolutely.
That spreads out like this.
Absolutely, and that's a natural phenomena. That's a natural phenomena that's connected to the cycle of the cosmic clock.
I just was trying to make some clarity with that.
No doubt. And that's that frequency that this Earth puts out on a natural level in order to bring the consciousness forward and to elevate it. But
of course.
But the thing is, with that, most people ain't gonna probably survive it because they eat meat and shit. They got all the heavy metals and the poison in their body. So people need to go through a cleansing process in order to be able to live through this event. Now, you got people that got all these fucked up drugs in their bodies and heavy metals from the meat, GMOs, this, that, and the other. Their body's not going to be able to withstand that frequency or that so-called radiation that's coming from the center. This is one of the reasons why these people that run the show right now go so hard with tainting your physical body, because they know what's coming and they know that event is going to kill off a lot of people. And it makes a lot of sense when you take into consideration all these FEMA coffins and shit they got piled up to the motherfucking gills, because they know it's going to be a lot of bodies laying around. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be some natural things that pop off. Why you think they chemtrailing the fuck out of the sky? Because they don't want you to see them stars and the sun and the moon and the things that it's doing as far as the signs that were placed in the sky for us to see and to tell, what's really popping. That's why they keep the skies dark. They don't want you to be able to see that shit and know what time it really is on a cosmic level. It's going to get deep.
Hey, now we're talking about, what do you think about this? 'Cause I never really bought into it, but I heard about it again the other day. This Star Force stuff. When Trump was talking about the Star Force.
Oh man, that's a bullshit, man. I ain't talking about no damn stuff.
I agree,
man. That's some old corny shit, man.
It's definitely some misinformation.
Stupid ass shit. Star Force.
It's misinformation as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
fake ass.
Yeah, because I heard some people talking about it the other day on some YouTube, and some people buy into it. So I was like, which shocked me, because I was like, wow.
I wouldn't buy in. I wouldn't buy into that if I wanted a fucking mango and banana, and all I had was 50 CDs, and I needed 25 CDs. I don't want this shit.
Yeah, it's some that's some shit
I
they got
think,
people.
When I say CDs, that's if you was in Ghana, that's how you pay for it. With the stuff, it was a joke.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I definitely don't buy it either. I do think like the Star Force thing. I think it's more to add on to the Department of Defense. It's just another way to come up to like squeeze more money out of taxpayers and say that they're using it for something, which is really meaningless.
Yeah, just like what Elon Musk said, right? He just was trying to be an ass. He said, since Flat Earth got a community, right? He said, why doesn't Flat Mars got a community? I think he was just trying to be a jackass.
Yeah.
But he posted that on Twitter.
Yeah, nobody knows anything. He doesn't know.
They
I think he's
shit.
cool. Yeah, I don't think he's as smart as people think. He's
man.
Listen,
Listen.
As smart as people think, man.
He's the dude that had the vision. He hired fucking engineers, scientists, and all these other people to put that shit together.
No, he didn't do shit.
He didn't do shit. His mind was a thought. He hired the other people like y'all put this shit together.
Listen, at the end of the day, NASA put all that shit together. They just made a little spin-off company. They just made a little spin-off company called SpaceX. That way people couldn't. No, for real. Listen, that's exactly what it is, though.
Yeah, that's all they do.
SpaceX is basically a subcontractor of fucking NASA. So all that shit that Elon Musk is coming up with, that shit that somebody scripted for him and used him as the motherfucking mouthpiece to put it out there.
Yeah, the front man.
That's all. Exactly. That's all that is. That's all that is. It's just like how when you got a business and you incorporate the business. So if somebody wants to sue the motherfucking company, they can't go after the head. They got to go after the fucking subsidiary or whatever.
And now every time SpaceX do a launch, it be popping up on like YouTube and little videos and shit like
it's bullshit.
Crazy ass shit in the sky, like rockets and shit in the sky and beams of light.
Yeah, you see all that weird stuff. Yeah. That's nothing.
And all they doing is priming motherfucker for the idea that aliens can come here and fuck some shit up. And like I said, when that shit pops off in 2020 or whatever, they're going to either blame it on aliens or they're going to blame it on some motherfucking country or whatever the case may be in order to do what the fuck they want to do. And here is a natural event that we actually should partake in.
Man,
they're going to scare your ass into fucking
the most deadliest weapon to alien, I think, is weed. Goddamn, you take about goddamn 30 ass goddamn bushes of weed. Them motherfuckers come charging at you. You got that weed already lit up. Let them motherfuckers get a whiff of that shit. They gonna start choking and coughing because it is some unfamiliar substance that's about to go into their fucking body, and they gonna fucking get high and forget they about to shoot us.
Listen. On some real shit. On some real shit.
Now listen, I'm trying to tell you, you get the motherfuckers high as hell. Goddamn, I don't believe in aliens. But if some aliens was to come,
no, they real.
They shoot a bunch of weed smoke at the ass.
Bro, listen, aliens
shoot a bunch of weed smoke at the ass. That's what I think.
Lindsay, brother, listen, aliens are absolutely. Listen, aliens just listen to me. Aliens are real. They don't come from traditional outer space like fucking NASA teaches us. They come from the rings beyond the ring that we live in. This is where, like, what happens when you got
about extraterrestrials, like people with extraordinary
listen,
that's in this plane existence and other exist.
Exactly. Now listen to the word extraterrestrial. That's basically extra land.
Yeah.
Okay? Right. Now, what do they call?
That's what I said from like extra land.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what do they call a motherfucking Mexican when he come across a border illegally? They call that motherfucker an alien.
Alien.
Okay, so does that mean he came out from outer space? Hell to the motherfucking
no.
He came from the land beyond America. It ain't no different.
He came from another land.
Exactly.
Terrain.
And this is where your alien, and this is exactly where your aliens come from. They come from the rings or the lands beyond our.
It's true because
if
they were coming from
they
space,
just got us looking up in the motherfucking sky like motherfucking Sammy sausage heads, and that's not what it's really about. It's all misdirection.
Right. If they're coming from the sky, it would be called upper space, not outer space.
They would be called extra fucking. They would be called extra celestials or some shit. Yeah, absolutely.
And like I said,
If we
we're
put
all
together,
aliens. It doesn't matter. Like,
put together what Dre has been mentioning all night, compared to the outer rings, some type of radiation or whatever type of frequency coming from the outer rings inside, and though how he broke down the analogy of the extraterrestrials, is it possible that those outer rings, those which are outer lands, could they be possibly moving closer to our ice sheet in order for Dre to say this radiation is coming in? Is the radiation that's coming in showing us that these lands are actually floating towards us closer? And that's why we begin to say that these aliens are coming from outside the ice sheet, due to the fact that everything Dre's saying is like
this is how it's going. This is what it is. That phenomena that's basically like the Carrington event. What that is the torus field is expanding. So people call it the dome or whatever that encircles the plane. There's one around each land of each ring of land masses. So the torus field that's expanding from the center, basically what it's doing is opening up. So then boom, when it reaches the next torus field, which would be Antarctica to us, that torus field would open up. This is why these NASA motherfuckers talking about they going to Mars in like 2030 or whatever the case may be, because they know that fucking torus field is going to open up, and that's going to give them the ability to travel beyond the ring that we live in, where Mars is actually located. It's not fucking up in the sky in outer space like they show you. They just show you that shit to give you some fucking okey doke. And you looking up in the sky, and they steady running off to the left and the right, and the front and the back. You know what I'm saying? So basically,
do you think that's the reason why they shooting everybody with these vaccines and stuff like that?
Yes.
You gotta understand something that I'm not a stupid brother either. And the way I see it is that when it comes to, I'm gonna hit you in the head with this, but when it comes with microbes, neurology, physiology, any of that shit, ain't nothing coming from the outside of anywhere mixing in with us. That's the whole purpose of biological warfare. Biological warfare is based on that we can't live in the same environments, and when we do, we get used to each other's, we get acclimated to each other's germs and diseases and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's complicated for me to say that, because I never believed in outer space anyway, because I can't believe the fact that people will say, I'm gonna go travel to a second Earth. You know what I mean? Knowing damn well on Earth we die from the littlest things. You know what I mean? You get a splinter in your finger, don't get it out quick enough. They're gonna, cut it off. So how does
you can't even go to a different country and drink the water without some ill effects?
Exactly.
How the fuck you gonna go to another planet?
Right. And so when we use that same analogy by looking forward as distance, right? It's gonna work the same way when it comes to biological factors, how you eat, what you drink, what you smell, what you see. All these things are factors. Our five senses are factors in our environment. So when our environment recalibrates, so does our five senses. So
absolutely.
My question is how do these foreigners, aka extraterrestrials who come from different lands, how are they able to come to our land, ready without having to biologically recalibrate as well as for us? So is that
they can't, and the reason why they can't is because we live closer to the center. Now, as that torus field expands, that frequency unlocks the codons within our DNA. That's like the scientists say, we got all this junk DNA. There's no such thing as junk DNA. If the DNA is in your body, it's an instruction to do something. But however, that instruction cannot be activated until a frequency or a source of light frequency specifically activates it. So these beings that live on the outer rings, they're more advanced than us, because on the cosmic clock scale, they're already in like what we would call a golden age. They're actually regressing where we're progressing. They're just trying to prolong the power that they have by manipulating us in the way that they've been able to do that for so long, because they understand how the system works. And when those torus fields open up, that's when they come in and do their shit and set up their systems to control us.
Hey, peace, y'all. Excuse me, man. Peace, Chief Holiday, man. How y'all doing, man?
What to do, bro?
Hey, what's happening?
I'm great, man. Hey, I'm just gonna come from the standpoint of a guy who doesn't believe in shit. Okay, I don't believe in any aliens, Santa Claus, Bigfoot, none of that. Right? I don't believe until I see it. You know what I mean? And the crazy part about that is, right, people believe things they don't see, right? And aliens being one, and these people push these Anunnakis on us, and they push all this mess on us. Like our ancestors couldn't came up with agriculture, couldn't have came up with building and all the things that they came up with. And I think it's very insulting for these Sitchin type people to be talking, you know what I mean, with no proof. Sure. And this is mainstream right now. They teach this shit like it's mainstream, you know what I mean? Like some aliens came here and taught the monkey people how to read and write. You know what I'm saying? I think that's insulting for people to believe that. And you don't even believe something as simple as that you're from America. You know what I'm saying? But you believe aliens. And I think that's insulting. I mean, to a lot of crazy levels, you know what I'm saying? And also, I just wanted to say, when you say aliens, right, and how they could make a Mexican an alien just by going a mile across the border, right? You know what I mean? Right. Yeah. That's the same way they could just flip words on whoever they wanted to flip them on. Oh, you had a hammer in your hand during this time period? You a slave.
Well, that doesn't make them an alien. That's just the label that they place on them, because everything that we are faced with and exposed to is all a part of one system. The words they use are applicable across the board. You know what I'm saying? That's what the English language is based on. It's a bastardized language where they take bits and pieces of every other language, and then they use it on, as far as our language is concerned. They give it to us, and then we use it in ways that we don't even realize what the words and the sounds we make invoke, or what they truly mean. You know what I'm saying? So just because, like you said, just because a Mexican walks a mile across the border, does that make him an alien? Absolutely not. But the word alien is still feasible and applicable just because of the universal sense of the word.
And see, and the crazy thing is, when you say the universal part, is, like I said before, we're all aliens. It doesn't matter if you're from Mexico or from, say, Paris, France, or some other standpoint of some origin. It doesn't matter where you come from. We're all aliens. I mean,
we're all humans.
But I agree with you. But the thing that we might be overlooking right here is the true term that we're talking about.
Hold on, I ain't no damn alien.
Listen. The true term,
no fucking damn alien,
brother. Listen, but the true term that we're actually discussing right now is extraterrestrial. And when you break that word down to what it is, it basically just means extra land. And when you apply that to what we call flat earth, there is indeed extra land beyond the ring that we happen to live in. This is where the term alien comes from. Alien is just a derivative of extraterrestrial. It's like a slang.
And that's the crazy thing is, it doesn't matter if, you got aliens from the sky, or, aliens from the planet Earth, or wherever planet you may be. We're all, there's going to be some kind of weird thing of a fact of we have aliens among us. And I mean, no matter which way you look at it.
The way I see it is this. I'm going to start with belief first, because we already know if you take an aspirin, it will heal your headache. That's a belief. I believe that. We already know if you collapse a lung, like a newborn thorax, that we can pump that motherfucker up. And if we don't, you'll die. So when we work with belief, we got to keep it in context. Now, when it comes to aliens and this panel and all that stuff, a lot has been said with the last hour and a half, and I haven't said anything. My thing is, like, some of you brothers is like, actually, all you brothers is really sophisticated. And it's like, we already know that we need to speak English because that's the only language we speak. Can you imagine if we had to start over and decide to say what language, like Polite, how Polite, his language fell short because ain't nobody gonna learn no new language to start communicating. When we begin to use these languages and do what Dre's doing, to be analytical, then we can find these secret answers. I strongly believe that. I mean, a lot of y'all said a lot of things. See, I stick with the G code. I'm a gangster, and I'm not no red or blue rag gangster, no. And at the same time is, though, gangsters, right? We take care of a lot of shit that you guys overlook. You know what I mean? We feed the hood, nigga. We make sure certain mamas and certain aunties that are single, right? We make sure that their bills get paid correct, you know what I mean, appropriated. There's a lot of deadbeat daddies out there that us former gang members take care of their children. And so when you knock a gangster, you knocking me. That's the second thing. The third thing is this. When it comes to the medicinal field, like marijuana, when it comes to politics, and when it comes to like HOA, like the housing authority, these are some of the discussions that we really should be having, because these are the discussions that are currently affecting all of us that are in the communities. Like, for instance, how can you buy a house and the HOA come through and charge you $300 a month off top, just regulate your whole house just because you purchase a house on top of the land? When you purchase a house on top of the land and you don't buy the land, it's called idle law in Texas, meaning that you just own what's on top of the land. You don't own the land. So they can come and kick you out your own house. There's so many things in the political phase that is happening currently, right, that I would prefer to have the conversations about. That's the reason why I haven't really just said anything just tonight, is because really, though, I have a whole mouth to say about these things, these topics, cost of living, things about prescription drugs, cost of living, marijuana. Don't you know out here in Denver, California, how this works? I'm gonna let you know exactly how it works. I'm going to give y'all all the jewels. This is how it works in Denver. Here in Denver, Colorado, right? See, when we grow in California, we'll grow it, and when you smoke it, you get the THC, THCA, you get the CBDA and CBD, okay? So all these things that I just mentioned are receptor sites inside the brain. But here in Denver, what they have done, they have learned how to take the flower, marijuana, right? They've learned to extract it into forms like wax, shatter, dab, and all these forms. Stay with me. The reason they do this is because they extract out the CBD and the CBDA. If I walk in my room right now and grab my grocery bag full of cannabis, I will show you the descriptions on all these bottles. On all the bottles, it shows that if I go buy whatever, if it's other than flower, if it's not herb, if it's anything other than flower, right? Actually, hold the fuck up. No, flower too. Basically, what I'm telling you is this. These motherfuckers have learned to extract what we call medicinal in the marijuana. What they do is when you go to these dispensaries in Denver, right, and you go purchase your marijuana, whether flower or anything else, right, there's no CBD in it. And everybody know who smoke tree. They know what the CBD effect is. You don't OD on marijuana because the CBD regulates the THC when you get too high. So basically what I'm saying is Denver has a lot of synthetic marijuana due to the fact that it's laboratory grown. How in the hell do you extract the medicinal properties out of cannabis in order to tax it? Did you get that? Exactly. So what they have done was made everything that the cannabinoid does, they put a tax bracket between each and every one. So if it's a flower, there's 0 CBD. If it's this, it's 0 CBD. If you want CBD in your marijuana, you have to be taxed a certain bracket. And so these are the things I like to discuss because I can tackle these things like immediately. These are the things that they don't want people to know immediately because they already know it's like, okay, he's blowing a cover on us because it's the truth. It's the truth. If I brought a pack, which is the elbow from California out here to Colorado, it would be way worse than a felony due to the fact that, why? Because it's so clean, they consider it dirty. They consider it dirty because it's too clean, meaning that the medicinal properties are still intact. You get that? So what they have done out here was extracted the medicinal properties and put taxes on this shit. I've been buying trees since I've been here, and I'm telling myself, good Lord, this is what they're doing. I had a problem when I first got here. I'm telling myself, Denver weed is intensified. California weed is density. It's more heavy. It stinks more. It's more smoke. But actually, it's not the environments. I thought maybe because Mile High is 5280 or 5180 above sea level. I came straight from the Pacific Coast. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I thought that the environments was causing the differentiation between the marijuana. And it's not. It's these motherfuckers in the basement, right? Guinea pigging the marijuana. They're guinea pigging it. So basically, from what I'm understanding is, if you're able to extract CBD out of flowers, right? That means you must have grew a synthetic or some type of synthetic seed. There's no way. I mean, I've been growing for damn near all my life, and I can tell you right now, I've never grew marijuana without CBD intact. So I just, these are the discussions as well as the property management. You know, I'm out here in Denver, right? And these people have learned something new. They've learned that if they add a little bit to the apartment complex, right? I'm noticing this everywhere. But we live in a house, so I'm Gucci. But what I'm noticing is this. I'm noticing that when they begin to add these infrastructures to these apartment complexes, they change the name to condos. And then the rent goes up almost $800, you know. And so these are the things. And so with this little spiel that I did, I want to know from all you brothers, is it wrong for me to basically do politics? Is it wrong for me to do a nonprofit organization and compete? Or should I say, you know, what I'm seeing is a lot of people get involved with the government because they've unfigured their ass out. They've unfigured them out. So it's either you're going to work for somebody or you're going to work on the chess game playing against the government. I'm out here, you know, I work for somebody. And I also want to work. I also want to do something for nonprofit. All right. That way I can teach teenagers, like, you know, you can opt out of the shit. You can opt out of this. You don't need gang banging. You don't need none of this shit. Right. But at the same time, it's not being permitted. It's not being permitted the way I thought it would be, just by free will or free choice, with all the little bullshit that goes on. And when we talk so sophisticated the way we do, we're losing the youth, homies. We're losing the youth, because I'm gonna be real with you. Knowledge, right? Knowledge will make you lose your mind, because when you begin to know so much, when you come across something that you don't know, you have two options. You either get pricked because you don't accept the correction, or you lose your fucking mind trying to find the true answer. When we find that knowledge begins to make our stomach, which is our intuition, turn, we see that wisdom is what we're supposed to be harnessing, you know. And it's difficult to harness wisdom, because wisdom, she ain't giving that shit for free. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a big thing with your boy Dojo. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm a yield the floor like I usually do, but I'm gonna get off of here, because I've been drinking gin and juice like all day. But you brothers keep building. But always remember, man, that the youth in the streets, man, the youth in the streets will not sit here and listen to us talk this 2 hours. They won't. My battle is in the streets, because I know if an OG would have gave me my chance before I turned 42, I wouldn't have went through 20 years of the bullshit that I went through. You know, and that's why I'm attracted so much to like JFC and you know, certain brothers that do what they do, because it's like, those are the ones who the youth need to hear from, because they're keeping it simplified. They're keeping it simple. I mean, we've said so much. And as for China, let me just fill in the blanks, because I know once people hear this live stream, there's a lot of shit that y'all spoke that I didn't have to speak on. So I'm going to start with Tekashi 6ix9ine. Tekashi 6ix9ine, if you look at how him and his friends was operating, you see that they was doing micro-government. They were micro-governing their own hoods. Look at the paperwork that came out on them. Look what they were doing. They were micro-governing their own hoods, but yet doing it in the wrong fashion. If there was police in their hoods, making sure all the dope fiends and dope dealers understood what was really going on and cleaning up their streets, this wouldn't have happened. You know, but instead, no, they're out there pushing fentanyl, tree doing, you know what I'm saying? Last but not least, Tekashi moved like he's a billionaire. So did his whole crew. Look at the paperwork. The nigga only had 1.4 in the bank. That's surprising to me. And everybody else had 60 to 30 grand. That's very surprising to me. And so what it tells me is that he cannot come back to California, because those goons, those bloods that he got problems with, those bloods are for real, nigga. Those bloods ain't no Illuminati. They'll smack you. You know what I'm saying? And the way I see it is, he got a whole lot to do. He has a whole lot to clean up. Now, as for China 2020, everything that Knowledge is talking about is absolutely correct. All you got to do is go to Google and type in China 2020 and take it from there. Just stop being biased and keep your mind open, and you'll see China 2020 is beginning to build the new Silk Roads. Silk Roads as in plural, not Silk Road as in singular. I live in Denver now, so I take light rails, which are trains, right? That go all over this motherfucker. China is the only company in the only country that I know that can throw a light rail together in 2 minutes. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why they're in Africa. When we speak about China, the only reason they're getting their privileges is because of the UN. Who's ever running the UN is given the privileges. Trump tried to opt out of the China 2020 deal. When Trump tried to opt out, you know what they told him? Fuck you. We still gonna build this in America anyway. It lets me know that our president got no power. And so with that spill, I'm gonna yield the floor. You gentlemen have a very good night. I need to sleep this off. I need to sleep this off. Peace,
I have a
love,
quick
and happiness
question.
to all my friends. What's up, my man?
Hey, what part of Denver are you in? I used to live in Denver.
I'm in Aurora.
Oh, okay, Aurora. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Aurora,
The
Denver.
suburb.
Yeah, buddy. You know, I mean, I got an OG buddy out here. He grew up with me in California, banging crip, whatnot. But he got his mind right, got straight. You know what I'm saying? Moved out here and bought a house. And 20 years later, my man's actually, you know what I'm saying, parachuted me out of California. And this is the point. This is my point. You know what I'm saying? If I can help my brother or anybody else, as anybody that's willing to help themselves, these are the things that I would like to do for them. You know what I'm saying? Give that nigga a chance to get up out of his hood so he can make a difference. But niggas is scary as fuck. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Niggas is scary as fuck, and they need to stop being so scary. We talk real good. Right?
Exactly.
But we need
Hell
to
yeah.
step the fuck up. We need to step up and be like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this 15-year-old go through the same shit I went through. I'm not gonna let this 9-year-old daughter go through
Damn
the same
right,
shit
Dodo.
that we know. You get what I'm coming from? And
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
it
yeah.
seems far-fetched. I know it does, but it's not when you got powerful brothers like ourselves in the mix like this. It really isn't. I mean, it really isn't. It's not difficult at all. When we begin to say, well, my beliefs or what you're thinking opposes what I'm thinking, so we're not gonna go ahead and heal the hood. I can't fuck with you like that. I can't fuck with you. You know, and Denver is flooded with Africans. Don't you know stinking Africans don't even like your black ass? They don't.
Yeah.
They come out here and
Real
they
shit.
They talk
A lot of
so much
Ethiopians
shit.
out there.
Ain't lying.
Yeah, they out here. They call us. Dude, I've already uncaught 2 Africans disrespecting black women so tough that nigga. I swear
Oh, they'll
to God,
call
I wanna
you
snap
what
it.
is it? Bobo. That means
All
white
kinds
man.
of
They call
stuff,
you
bro,
white
and
man
it's like-
because you speak English. They call you Bobo,
Right.
the Ghanaians.
Well, on
Yeah.
the contrary, they think we're stupid. They taught in Africa that when
That's true.
when they come to America, that the niggas is dumb because we were born and raised here in America with all these privileges and we didn't take it. So we living off EBT or we in the hood clapping and this and all that. So Africans who come here, they look at the poverty-stricken areas from where we were born and raised in. They look at us like we're scum.
Yeah, but
They
see,
don't know the system was set up for us to be this way, but they look at us like we scum. You know what I'm saying?
but
And
see,
it's like,
you got a valid point there, Dojo. And you're talking about poverty. Okay, that's where they came from. So they're sitting there saying, okay, you know, the African American of America, you know, not taking advantage of what they got.
exactly.
But see,
exactly.
what they don't understand is back in the day, the slavery that, you know, the African American had to go through. Okay. Just like in their area, they have slavery that happens. They got poverty. They're going from nothing, and they're coming from nothing to something, to be something of themselves. So they cannot sit there and sit there and blame the African American of America.
Ryan.
All the
Yeah, the
history of
other-
America, all the
Can I
history of America, all the
address
history of America
I have-
was written. The slavery
Caucasian
was
Ryan,
written
let
by
somebody else express their
Yeah.
sentiments, Ryan.
Well,
I'd
well,
rather hear somebody else's opinion
Right.
on it.
One other
Well,
point that I have too is that the Africans got to realize that they might talk about the African Americans, but they're out here. They're not in Africa no more.
Well, but here's the thing, right? I don't know why we identify all of us as being slaves. First off, it was only a small percentage of people that was so-called in servitude. And I would like to ask you, what's the guy's name that's on here? Ryan. When did your people come to America, and how did they come here?
Man,
Oh shit.
they came from boats. Hey, and I understand the whole, not all African Americans were a part of the slavery. Okay, I was just bringing up the thing that back in
But
the
white
day.
people never bring up they never bring up y'all slavery. So I wonder why it's always important to bring up slavery when it comes to so-called. We're not African Americans, first off. So that's the first thing. Is Africans come here? They're Ethiopian Americans. They're Nigerian Americans. Nobody's Africans. That's a misnomer. That's another usurping of our land, of our power, of everything socially, which where it starts at, right? So yeah. So you can identify with being from somewhere else, right? Just like the people that come here from whatever. So everybody's been socialized to come here and take our shit. That's the problem. I say deport everybody and let's start over. Trump, everybody.
Yeah.
Trump,
I say that to
immigrant.
Hey, yo, real quick, fellas, I got to bounce. I got to get my ass in the bed, yo. It was real
All right,
nice
Demetrius,
chopping
hey,
it up with you,
really a
fellas.
pleasure talking to you, man.
I'm gonna have to
peace.
holler at y'all another time. So yeah, I just want to say peace and love and respect to everybody, yo.
Yeah, peace, Dre.
Peace.
Much respect.
Peace out, man.
Much
It was definitely
respect.
great talking to you, man.
No doubt. Peace, fellas.
And they say when they get quiet like that, angels fly by.
Okay, there we go. But anyway, so I guess what, Ryan, was you answering a question?
Oh man,
Yo, I appreciate you coming on the show tonight too, man.
But you know, it's just the whole slavery thing. It really irks me. I mean, it doesn't matter what race it may be. The whole slavery thing.
So when you say it don't matter what race,
it doesn't matter what race it really was. When it doesn't matter if my people are in slavery, or anyone that was a part of slavery. The slavery thing was just totally wrong in general.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So you're saying that everybody was slaves at one point. Is that what you're saying?
Well, there could be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, and just in general, though.
But you said two different types of slavery, didn't you?
Well, yeah. I was talking about back in the day where the white people were the masters, and I'm.
Ryan,
how do you know white people
come here and own people? Hold on.
How do you know white people were the masters? Hold on. How do you know white people were the masters?
I mean, there could be white people that masters. There could be, black.
No,
people
you said no. You said when white people were the masters.
I mean,
I heard. Y'all can correct.
I want to know if was his people. Did his people own black people?
If we go into history age,
let's not go into history. Let's just get into what do you think? What do you know from your perspective?
I know for a goddamn fact you didn't. So your people probably were owned by black people, but that's another conversation. I'm asking you, do you have that in your history? Do you know whether or not you own black people? And I want to know, have y'all ever met a white person that owned black people, that they family owned y'all? So I don't know why this is a Zionist invention that needs to be destroyed. But
let him answer that question though.
In your mind. Well, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah, it's on you.
Oh, sorry, I was dozing off into the chat.
He was dozing off.
Because I've been kind of keeping an eye in the chat situation too, but no, it just, I don't know. Like, history is history, and the past is the past, and I'd rather move on with the present and try to be one with others. Like I just want to get along with everyone, and doesn't give a shit. If I'm white, you're black. You're brown or whatever.
Who told you were white? Hold on, let me put my camera up. Who told you were white?
I am white. I know I'm white.
See, when you become white,
do you see the problem? Do you see the problem we are programmed with? He thinks he's white, so automatically he thinks we're black. Now I'm just gonna stop it right there. No, because I asked you. And you said, you're white. I asked him, right?
I'm a Caucasian. I'm very aware of my skin color of being Caucasian.
That has nothing to do with it, man. It's a bigger picture than that.
Are you asking him if it's a mentality, like if it's a way that he feels, what defines your whiteness to you?
Nothing.
Or if you're white.
No, because you said you're white.
Well, and
if we believe in the black-white paradigm, then that gives him power. So I'm saying it's no black-white paradigm that's fake. That's a caste system that his people created to give themselves power. So I'm saying that if we take that power from him, he's not white. That's a social political construct for evil. So if by him admitting that he's white, he knows that's a goddamn problem for us. He knows this, and that's his source of power. So we're gonna take it, brother. That's how we feel about that. If you don't have that, what do you have, brother?
What's the term that you would use? Because I always hear people saying, "I don't want to be called black, African American." This, what's the term that you prefer to be called for melanated people? I guess.
For for you guys, I just call you like brothers and sisters. Because I look at you as a brother, or like if say you're married, I look at if you got a wife, I look at your wife as a sister. We're all like as one.
Well, okay.
What about anybody else on the panel? What do you prefer?
What Bob Marley would say, one love, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm cool with that. What about anybody else in the panel, like any of the black folks, I guess? Then what do you prefer to be called?
Well, here's the thing, right?
Call me Lindsay.
I'm an American.
Call me Pierre, Lindsay or Pierre. You can call me that.
I'm an American, and the definition of American is the Aboriginal people that the Europeans found when they came here. So that's from the 1500s. So my people were here before the 1500s, right? So we've been Americans since the term American was invented. So for me, I would like to be called the first Americans. That's what I would like to be called. Like the 2020 census. That's what I want to see on the 2020 census.
Right. But is that's part of the Pan-African thing, right?
No. I'm not a Pan-African at all.
Okay.
Pan-Africanism is also Zionism. I'm an American. America Jack. And I'm sure that if anybody do any genealogy search, not a DNA search, a genealogy, what you check birth certificates and death certificates and things, you'll find that your people been here for thousands of years. If you can go back that far, but let's just say at least hundreds of years, and you'll find that you've been here in your own land and you wasn't slaves. So now you got some people that have come from poor ass countries, come to our country, get wealthy off of us, and their countries become thriving metropolises. Y'all see how this works? So this is the historical just of America. Everybody comes here and comes up off of the indigenous people of this land. That's another term. I would like to be called indigenous. We are the indigenous inhabitants of America. That's important for power. If everybody says, oh, I want to be black power, I want to get power and all this dumb shit, well, goddamn it. It's a term called first in line, first in time. Like anybody's getting anything, it should be us first, not immigrants. That's how I feel. And that if you're a true American, you should stand on that. That's just how I feel about it.
Like, for example, like the people that are coming over in the caravan, then is that something that you're against?
Well, I feel like this right here, man. The policies of these illegal immigrants that are running this country now, the government,
right.
Put policies in place that shouldn't be going on like that. And I feel like it should. What does that say about those countries, Mexico and Honduras and all these other countries that allow their people to be disrespected like that? You know what I'm saying? So for me, those are my brothers and sisters.
Right.
That are this is all like media hype and once again for them to continue to keep pushing this fear mongering that they're doing. This is bullshit. Once again, it's the media. Fuck the media. You know what I'm saying? I think I fuck with Trump before I fuck with the media, and that's just real shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to ask y'all a question, right? Too. We're getting off the subject a little bit, but not really.
Sure, no problem.
If Hillary Clinton would have won the presidency, would we be happy?
I don't think we would have been happy no matter who it was. Because the reason I say that is because the argument, the whole political argument's been the same for years. It seems like no matter who's in office, nothing ever changes.
It's like
I'm not letting on the hook. I'm not letting Ryan off the hook either over here. Ryan.
What? What?
I said, so Ryan, was you white before you came to America, or is that something that?
I was born an American. Thank you, sir.
Right. Ryan, though, do you understand the question that he's asking you, though? No, he's asking you a question. It's pretty deep, though. I mean, it's simple, but he's just asking you a simple question. So I don't want you to get worried, though, because we love you. But he's asking you a simple question.
Yeah, man. I'm saying because
he's asking you a question, but if you think about it, it's just it's not one. Because you over there sweating, man.
Yeah, right. What kind of shit is this shit? Like he's got me all fucking bind up and shit.
Nah, man. I mean, because I feel like we have a dialogue, we could grow. You know what I'm saying? We can have
yeah.
Grow. See what he's saying is that like the titles don't exist. None of these names and titles don't exist. Right, something that was brought on to us, and so that's what he's saying.
Right,
So
Right,
if you
but
weren't,
not really
if
man.
you're white
Europeans are
now,
not racist.
what were you before? What were you before you were white?
I don't know. I was in my mom's fucking belly. I was probably not even twinkling in my mom and daddy's eyes. Shit.
Yeah, see, it's just a thought. Like, yeah, the color is just like colorism or whatever.
I don't know, man. And like, you know, but it's just like, you know, they teach you they like even and this is a crazy thing.
Right,
And
right, right, right.
we all know the situation with the law.
Right,
Okay.
let me help you, Ryan.
What's up?
When we look at what they call what they've taught us, you know what I'm saying? We look at the history of it. This is the easiest way to see it. Okay. When they teach us this history of America, they always start with what? The 13 colonies. So when you take the year of the 13 colonies and then take the year of the 1611 KJV and then take the year they tell you that they so-called brought black people over here, and then take the number of how many black people are in America, it goes to show you that all that history never existed. It was all written in order for them to control. Simple as that. Because when the 13 colonies came, according to their history, when the 13 colonies came, they didn't bring slaves with them. There were no slaves with them, right? But when you look at the time span between the 13 colonies and how many black people are actually living in America, right? We would have already been here. There's no fucking way that they can convince me they brought millions over on slave ships, but 99% of those millions died at sea and only a few got here, and then we repopulated to be more millions within a couple of years. When we look at it analytical wise, right, we know that American history is full of bullshit. We know that. Just all you have to do, really though, is don't look at it at a way of knowledge. Look at it like you don't really know, but now you're looking at it to really know the truth. And when you do that, you'll see like, wait a minute, shit's not adding up. Because everything I just discussed with you, right, there's not enough years to say millions of blacks have repopulated in America in that small amount of time between the 13 colonies, the 1611 KJV, and the 1700s. Trust me when I say that. I yield the floor.
Yeah. Also, on top of that, what I'm thinking, I think there's probably a few came from Africa mixed in with some of the ones that were already here. You know, but I think that you know, and going back to what he's saying too is like there's people that are already here, and there's these other Native Americans or whatever you want to come also, but somewhere else they don't have to give you like land rights and different things, right? So I think saying that a group of people came from somewhere else is a possible way of not giving people what they are owed. Like if you see Indian people right now, they have, you know, even though they're working with people, they have casinos, different things like that, and so on. And I don't even know any black folks that still have 40 acres and a mule.
The 40 acres and a mule was forfeited for what you call agriculture and mechanical colleges. That's why you have all black colleges. If you look up all black colleges from Grambling to Alcorn universities, I don't give a damn which one you look up. You're going to notice that each all black college was named after a Confederate who fought for the South, who actually owned plantations. So when you look at the agriculture and the mechanical colleges that was given to all black people, right, to get them to get on a football field, to get them to get on a basketball court, right, you notice that that's where the 40 acres and a mule went. They changed the plantations to all black colleges, and they still doing what they do to us today. And so when we say that, oh, okay, slavery never existed, it really didn't, but it does when it comes to putting a cuff on somebody's, when it comes to putting the cuffs on us, man. It's just that simple. And it's not really, I don't want to sit here and say, oh, this is what white people has done to us. You know what I mean? Because it's like, we're going into 2020. You know what I mean? And that's the reason why so many black people straight from the hood do so much flossing and like, look at me now type of shit. Because it's like, dude, when you stop and realize that we've only really been out of the clutches of this supremacy like 80 years, you know? But yet it took Rome 400 years to build their empire. Fuck with your boy. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It take a nigga. I've been in Denver, what, 9 days? And I work for fucking, like I work for Nintendo, Marvel, and Warner Brothers all at the same time. That's a fact. And I only been here 9 days. But yet at the same time, right? It took Rome 400 years. You see what I'm saying? And so this is the ambition that they want to paralyze. They want to paralyze the ambition of us because they already know that if we can save ourselves, we're going to become a problem because we don't need their resources. We can develop our own. When we start studying Tulsa, Oklahoma and see what really happened, we know what's really going on.
Right. When he says Tulsa, Oklahoma, he's talking about Black Wall Street, y'all. Yeah, it's been done before, and people don't realize that. I think that's something that's buried in history because there's a lot of people, even a lot of older folks, that's not familiar with what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
And the cover up. I mean, I don't know how real this is, how much to believe, but from my understanding, and I haven't done a thorough research on it, that the Tulsa, Oklahoma was that act was done to hide the indigenous natives who were super dark, right? They did that to hide them who were in that location. From my understanding, since the Lincoln administration, right, they've been doing things to the darker natives in order to hide this indigenous story of being the original people in this land, you know. And so, like I said, I can be far off with that. But from what I've heard these last couple of days, that even Tulsa, Oklahoma, taking out the Black Wall Street was a cover up because there was a native group there that had rights, you know. Because when you look at okay, look, when we fly over Texas, you see a lot of extra land. They make it seem like there's no place to live in the United States, that we're congested, and it's not true. So when you fly over Africa, right, you know what you see? You see more land than anything. So when they show us, oh, these African people are hungry and eating mud pies, they're showing you small pockets of villages. They're not showing you all of Africa. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same way here in America. It's like we can only attest to how much they allow us to do. So they paralyze. I mean, they paralyze us. They paralyze the free will. They paralyze us doing whatever we can do for ourselves. So that makes us a dependent. As long as you are dependent on a dependee, your ass in trouble. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? It's like most of the stuff that I go through day to day, right? It's really not. It's really not. It's not. It's I don't know, man. Look, all I know is this. We all smart enough to understand what's really going on, man, and trying to fix a system that just keeps us held down. It's like I don't know who's gonna have the right approach. I've been on YouTube with a lot of these fellas for like over 2 years, and I've done myself a duty, tried to congregate with brothers and all of that. I'm just saying that when we learn to operate as our own government, right? Then we'll start seeing some actual change. But as long as we say that, well, no, I think this and I think that, right? There's no real change. You know, I trip out on this. How the fuck did Obama get elected? And then after that, Trump gets elected. Who the fuck voted Trump in? And who the fuck voted Obama in? There should have been some confliction between the voting scales, because it's like, did the KKK vote for Obama and then decide to say, well, he fucked up, we're gonna go vote for Trump? So who it's like, it's just so much bullshit that I only want to focus on the hoods. I only want to focus on the hood because it's like, and I'm gonna be real with y'all, in California, gangbanging ain't gangbanging no more. When you look at the videos, when you know what's really going on in California, gangbanging has turned to families. They've turned to micro governments. They have. Ain't nobody doing nothing over red and blue colors no more. They gonna do something because you preventing these babies to eat. That's what they're gonna do something about. You know what I mean? And so I just, it's hard for me to comprehend some of these conversations because my mind still dwells on that. It's like, look, I know there's some aunties in the hood that can't feed their babies. You know what I mean? So what's really the topic? Should I worry about that, or should I worry about what I got to say about Trump and how I feel about the voting system? To me, there's no comparison, because I know that there's people out there every day that's not only being hungry, but making the wrong decisions by taking somebody else's shit that don't belong to them. And so if I can make a difference in one person's life, I did my duty for that day. So I'm going to yield the floor. Peace, love, and happiness. I got love for everybody. Peace, love to the chat. Y'all know what's up. HOTC Universal at all times over here with me. And I yield the floor. But I'm gonna cut out, my brothers, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if I don't,
Okay.
I'm gonna wake up and
That
throw up
was
in my mouth.
amazing. Yeah,
I'm gonna wake up and throw up in
I
my mouth.
love
I
that. I
promise you.
love that, brother. I love
But we
that,
got to
brother.
keep it up. We got to keep it a bean, man, because it's like as it is by me leaving California and then moving out here and starting to live a lot better. I know I know I was blessed for this, but at the same time, it hurts my feelings because I know what I left behind. You know, some of us who lead a hood, we feel obligated to not only go back, but we feel obligated to show those people who we went back to show that this is how you move. You know what I mean? A lot of these people don't do that, man. That's why Pac was so genuine. And I know some of y'all think he was gay. I know some of y'all think maybe he was Illuminati, but look past all that. When you look past all that, what's really the messages that these people are trying to show us? Biggie the same. How is it possible that Biggie and Pac could be enemies, but both of their mothers was Black Panthers? I don't understand. And so it's like, we have to watch out for this propaganda shit. We got to watch out by knowing too much, right? And not doing nothing about anything. That's just how I feel, brothers. I love y'all, man. Y'all sleep easy, and man, and may the Most High bless each and every one of y'all, man. I swear to God on that. I'm gone.
Already, already.
Peace.
Peace, Dojo.
Peace, brother.
So
we done been over 2 hours in. I think this was an amazing panel we had tonight, and hopefully we can do another one tomorrow.
For sure.
Anybody want to close it out? Anybody want to? Yo, Chief Holiday, Huey.
Yes, sir.
Yo, man, y'all want to close out with some comments, man?
Man, yeah, man. Thank you for having me today, man. Definitely appreciate it. Being able to come over and build with you and the family, man. You guys are definitely welcome to come build with us anytime, man, over at Tribe Up YouTube page. And and you also can catch me over on, we started our own social media. We call it Tribal Media Network called TribeUp.app.
Okay.
It's the app that pays, man, you know, to the first friends and family, man. So check us out. Yeah, man, we building, man, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the 5000elite.com. Shout out to Ty Data, man. Yeah, man, just come check us out, man. We building, we working. We trying to break this code, man, and all is welcome. You know what I mean? So that's the main thing, man. And you brothers definitely seem authentic. You know what I mean? And that's all it's about, man. And about our differences, about what we have in common, and that's what it's about. So yeah, all is welcome, man. So peace to the panel, man. Peace to the chat room. Definitely. Thank y'all for
Peace
having
to
me.
you, brother.
Peace, Chief.
Peace.
Yeah, peace out.
Yo, Ryan, you got some closing thoughts? Yo,
Yeah.
Huey still in the building?
he's here. He's just kind of on the low key at the moment, I guess. Big shout out to the panel. Thanks for having me. It was fun. You know, we touched on a lot of crazy cool stuff. You know, we made our facts, we made our theories. You know, big shout out for those who are in the chat. You know, thanks for those that commented. That, you know, was some of the subjects that we got to brush up on, and kind of brought your, you know, comments into the situation at force of hand, because without you guys being able to say, "Oh, your little 2 cents of your, you know, what you thought," and we kind of got the chance to bring it in and let the panel know what y'all said, and you know, that just kind of gave us more of an open edge to, you know, what your thoughts were. And I thought that was kind of cool that, you know, we somewhat had a little interaction into that, because, you know, it was kind of a knowledgeable more thing. You know what I mean? Knowledge. It
Yo, can y'all hear him? I can't hear him.
Yeah, I think he might have froze up.
Steven, man, I appreciate you coming in tonight too, man. You always
Thanks, I appreciate
you
you.
always do come in, man. Yeah, man. I say, man, we got to get these panels going. We did a lot of panels at the beginning of the year, and and it seemed like it's been a while since we did panels. Because we did do a lot of panels.
Yeah, you got a good thing going. I definitely want to see it grow. So we definitely got to do something to make that happen because we got a lot of good things to talk about.
Yeah,
and I have to give a shout out to the whole panel in the chat as well. I think it was a great build, and we all have ways have. Every time I get on here, I always learn something, and I think if you don't evolve, you become extinct. So it's good to talk to people and get information, and that's what happened tonight. I think we have good people on here, and it's a very, very good build.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Oh, there you go. He came back.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
There you go, Ryan.
My PC just went on me, so I'm mobile.
We got your forehead. We got you got the cap on your forehead. We can say, okay, there you go. You're getting it down there. All right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you coming in tonight, Ryan, man.
Yeah, appreciate you guys for sure. It's always a blessing to hang out with the panel and catch up and touch up on some subjects that needs to be touched with and blessed and brought to knowledgeable ways.
And it's a million more subjects that we can
always there's million subjects that you got to go upon.
Millions more.
It's more like billions, man, if you look at it.
It's a lot.
It's true.
It's a lot.
Because we could go on and on and on about billions and different of things that need to be touched with and talked about.
Well, like I said, I appreciate you, Ryan. I appreciate you, Steven, Huey, Chief Holiday, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all. Until next time, we will be trying to do one tomorrow. So you guys just hang tight. I'll hit y'all up if we're doing one tomorrow. Until next time, this is Knowledge Uprising, and I am Lindsay. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.